Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep. With your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Friday edition of Benzinga's PreMarket Prep. Spencer Israel, Dennis Dick, and oh, wait a minute. Look who's back. Look who's here. Joel has made his return. The prodigal son returns. Joel, welcome back from your trip. I hope you are well rested, and I hope you better have a story or two for us.
Did you get a story, Joel? Oh, no story.
Two stories.
Okay, we're going to sit back. Have a drink of my coffee if I drank coffee.
One is just a consumer warning.
Consumer warning?
Yeah, product warning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You know the blow-up paddle boards from Costco that you can get? They're supposed to be like really, really small and really easy to blow up and really
not easy to blow up.
Well, they're not easy to blow up, and they're not as easy to stand up as regular paddle boards. And I can attest to that because I went in to drink about 6-7 times trying to get up on that thing. And so that's a consumer warning on those.
They're like a
not
big balloon trying to balance on a balloon.
Oh my gosh. Of course, Lisa.
It builds core strength though when you're trying to balance like that.
It does. Of course, Lisa was like, just going right through the
she gets on there, has no problem at all.
Right. Not a call for Costco puts or anything like that, but man, it was some hard work. And then the other highlight was kind of a low light too. There was like a 500-yard par 5-10, and of course you could go down the fairway or you could just try and clear a bunch of trees. And I cleared the trees. I really cut like 150 yards off the hole, and then even I was almost on with a 4-iron on a par 5, and I still ended up with a par. I chipped it on it. And,
I can't go. Look at the scratch golfer. He's complaining about
not a scratch golfer.
Like 2 a year. I get like 2 pars a year.
But Northern Michigan, I'm still, man. Harbor Springs, Petoskey. I mean,
You're bullish Northern Michigan.
Bullish Northern Michigan.
Long Northern Michigan calls.
Yeah, so that everyone behaved this week?
More or less. Wait, now Dennis, your turn. Did you save a donut for the show today? You better have saved it.
There is some donuts. I don't have one here right now. Do you want me to go get a donut? I tweeted out the picture of yesterday. Actually, the boy might have ate the last donut because that dozen donuts showed up, and the boy is just like dancing around. And then we all had a donut after lunch, and then the boy looks at me right away. Can I have another one? I was like, no, you're 6. You're not having 2 donuts right now. 1, the sugar. 2, there's no need for 2 donuts right now. We don't need to set a dangerous precedent here on these donuts. But I had 2 donuts. I snuck the second one and the boy's so good. I'm like, I ate the apple fritter first, and then the boy's like over on the couch, and then he looks over at me, and I'm eating a different donut, and he's like, I thought you were just eating an apple fritter. And I was like, oh no, I was eating the other one. And then he's thinking about it.
Smart.
Because he catches me eating 2 donuts. He's going to like, I'm eating 2 donuts.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyways, I think there's 1 or 2 left. There is 1 or 2 left. But they were excellent, Spencer. Thank you very much. So my ANC paying me. That was awesome.
Dad has been paid.
Debt has been paid off.
Spencer always pays his debt.
Joel owes me still like 25 lunches, so I'm expecting some DoorDashes to show up at my door eventually here. But
yeah, Dad, they could do that. Where'd you get them from delivered? Tim Hortons, or
you gave me the gift card? You didn't see the gift card on my tweet? Show the gift card for my tweet.
No.
All 3 of our pictures are on the gift card. It's the best gift card ever.
So first I tried to send the gift card with the Wall Street Bets logo, like the guy.
Oh yeah,
the avatar, but they wouldn't. They like rejected it.
Oh, they didn't like that one.
They didn't like it. So then I was like, all right, let me just send a picture of the three of us.
Can you show it? Show it to show it to everybody.
Yeah.
Grab my Twitter feed. I tweeted it out.
All right,
grab the Twitter feed because you even made the picture of on the gift card, Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
Nice. Joel's on the gift card, even though he had nothing to do with the bet. Even though he doesn't talk about AMC publicly because of fear of
what did you guys
fear of the Reddit traders or fear of the meme traders. Look at that
digital gift card.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
I handed it to the person, Tim Hortons, and they're looking at that. They're like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's a gift card." They're like, "Oh, okay."
Jesus.
Joel,
so you guys had a busy week. There.
Not really. It was kind of boring, to be honest with you, Joel. You picked a great week to go out of town. There was not much fun. We got some news today, but
news me.
Oh, we could talk about Moderna. Let's start with Moderna.
Let's do it.
Let's start with this Moderna thing because I've been looking at this chart and wondering, man, is it ever going to stop going up? It just can't stop. And now at least we know why Moderna has been going up. The S&P announced yesterday they're adding Moderna to the S&P 500 as of next Wednesday's trading. It's going to replace ALXN. That's the stock being removed from the index. So you look at Moderna, it is up again this morning on that headline. So
it's a big pop. We know on these S&P ads that they do pop up initially on them. Sometimes they hold in the case of Tesla. Sometimes they don't in the case of Penn Gaming. So it's always, I never chase these moves for fear that it could be the next Penn Gaming. Up 7% here on the S&P ad. It's priced in pretty good. One thing to consider is Moderna is just doing so many things right. I mean, from the COVID vaccine, they're working on a flu vaccine. There's a lot of potential catalysts still for Moderna, but not chasing it up 20 points on an S&P ad. No, thank you.
And what did you say they're taking out?
ALXN.
Boy, I mean
Is there anything going on?
Are they getting taken over or something?
Well, that's a lot. They often do remove the ones that are getting taken over. I don't remember.
Either do I. I mean,
Alexion takeover. I'm just Googling it right now. I don't think they're getting taken over.
No. I mean,
no, they are. AstraZeneca's buying them.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
I figured because it was like
I forgot AstraZeneca is buying them. I should have known that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they shouldn't have taken them out.
I should have been trading that herb for the last while.
Yeah.
You know why? Because AZN. Yeah. So ALXN getting taken over.
Probably going to be a little bit rusty today, after not looking at charts for a week. But I just say you want to target on the upside. 282.90. They took it up there at 5:30 this morning, quickly backed off. Pretty good volume trading. We're 5 points off that. So I'd be the old scale up seller to that area. And then if they want to take it over 82.90, then they can go. But
wait, Joel,
one time ad.
Do you want to share your charts or are they not?
I thought I did.
Are they in no state to?
Come on.
I see a chart.
No, I see it.
Oh, that's Spencer.
That's my
Spencer chart. Share screen. Not that. Take me a day to get back here, but this is what the pre-market chart
looks like. He's in vacation
like.
mode here still. This is what happens when you come back from a vacation on a Friday.
Rusty.
Yeah. I know. Well,
you came just for the option expiration fireworks, though, didn't you?
It wasn't for me. Lisa wanted because we got my niece's wedding. Lisa's the one that wanted to come back. I would have stayed.
Today's the third Friday.
Oh yeah, today's option expiration. So I thought that's why I was back. Can't miss an option expiration. I schedule my entire year around Friday option expirations. I never miss a Friday option expiration unless I absolutely have to. So I look and my wife even knows when you're scheduling vacations, which I have one coming up, you don't schedule going through the third Friday of the month. Yeah, because those are the best trading days of the year. The best.
And also the quarterly,
The quarterly ones especially. Those are even better, Joel. Yeah. So especially the quarterly ones. Yeah. You don't miss those. Those are great trading days. Why? Because lots of inefficiencies, lots of people jockeying their open option positions against their stocks, and lots of movement at the open and the close, which I love movement.
Let's go from Moderna. Let's go to Biogen next here, because this Alzheimer's drug, I don't know how this is going to keep going, but it got the conditional approval, right? The FDA was like, we're going to approve this drug so long as you show us good data in your latest trial, which is sort of a weird thing to do. Then you get a report yesterday from I think it was the Journal that reported that the two of the largest hospital systems in the country, Mount Sinai and the Cleveland Clinic, are not going to administer this drug. Which,
I mean, this is going to be, you know, it was such a dangerous precedent. We talked about it that day for the approval. I mean, you're temporary giving something. I don't even know, you can't even call it an approval, but a temporary approval conditional upon how phase 4 goes. I mean, it just didn't make any sense.
It never made
sense
sense from the beginning.
No, it didn't. And you made a good point, Joel. Make your point on the insurance. I mean, think about this. I don't want to take your point away from you.
No. It's just like, we're going to pay, I mean, some ungodly amount, right?
It'd be expensive.
The expensive, and then, but it's kind of works, we kind of think, but we'll kind of keep it going.
Yeah, the insurance companies aren't going to want to pay. You know, here they're going to have very good lawyers on this and saying, look, this isn't even fully approved. So, you know, we're not going to pay this. I'm assuming that's already happening in the background. So there's all these can of worms that this opened. And not surprisingly, I mean, there's a lot of people who are skeptical, and you're going to have the insurance companies aren't going to want to pay. But now you're going to get other people, you know, that aren't going to want to administer the drug because the fear of lawyers. I mean, the whole world is in a fear of lawyers because everybody sues everybody for everything. So, I mean, you look here, you had the 200-point move. It was a selling opportunity. I'm long Biogen and the long-term portfolio. I've held that stock in there, I think, for 15 years. It's not going anywhere. I'm sticking with it. I'm in from $46. But man, I tell you, you know, if I was in that for a short-term trade, I would have been ringing the register all the way.
That was just such a, you get back 6 years of losses on basically the same drug, the same thing. I mean, that you know,
and not even a full approval, like a conditional approval. Yeah. It was just the slippery slope the dangerous precedent that could set. You know, and right away we were seeing stocks like Lilly pop up on it. You know, Sava was another one because they got, you know, an Alzheimer's. Wasn't Sava another one?
SAVA.
Yeah, and you know, these were popping up because, oh, well, they're getting conditional approval. We're getting conditional approval too. I mean, where do you stop with these conditional approvals? So I think it was a mistake for obviously this conditional approval to be given out. And I think the market's pricing that in now.
I mean, is this thing going to come back all the way down?
It might. It might. You know, and it would be probably a buying opportunity at that point in time. Like, I mean, if it gives it all back down to 260, because maybe the phase 4 does go well, and maybe it gets
there
full
you
approval.
Go.
So,
but you get that phase 4 approval, and then you get a pop, and then there's just that, you know, the people that were stuck before and the people that are stuck now. Boy, and then how long is that before you'll even get that?
It could be a long time. Yeah, I don't think they have a timeline for it.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, not the place.
That's how long you want to stick around in Biogen. I mean, the dangerous thing here is if you are a Biogen shareholder, and obviously I am, but if you're in it for the short term, if you're a trader, I should say, you ran up very quickly from the 280 to the 450 overnight. You know, just boom on the headline. What goes up quickly can come and fill that gap. There's nothing in here really until you get down to 290. Not saying it has to go straight there, but we've filled now of this gap, Joel. We've filled 3/4 of it. Are we going to fill the whole thing? I mean, we filled 75, 80% of it. Well, why not fill the whole thing?
You know what, though, is interesting is that it's like from a gap perspective, like the chart's really not showing it because it halted, right? You know, it was trading during the day. And then it halt and then gap up.
So it is a gap. It is a real gap. I don't know why on the chart. On my chart, it's the same thing. It's not showing the gap. It didn't trade in those prices that day because it was open for that day. So it's not showing like it was an overnight gap. It wasn't an overnight gap. It was an intraday gap. So that's interesting that it doesn't show like the whole in chart because it never traded at 350 on that day. It never traded at 320 on that day. It halted at like 300 or 295 or whatever it was and gapped up to the 450 high.
Let's see if we can do this without without messing up my charts too much, because I'd have to go
here and gap, try to cut it out.
Let's see here. I'm going to just do this once because we don't need any chart fiascos here this morning. But if we go 240 minutes, right? And that was way back. When was that happened?
Like on that, it doesn't show the gap now. That's good. The gap's gone.
Oh no, I got it here. I found it. Look at that.
You got it. That's the real chart.
Yep.
That's the gap that we're talking about, because that full bar doesn't exist. It never traded at those prices in that day. That's the real chart you're looking at right now with that gap. And that's the gap we're talking about filling.
And let's see.
Joel, you're like a magician over there.
Look at this, man. I'm pretty
well rested.
Oh, look at that. 308. And look what you got to this morning. You got the 310 this morning.
That was last night, I think.
Yeah. Last night. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it's
almost filled the entire gap.
That's crazy. That's 308 if you want to go from where it got halted. So it's like nothing. Wow. I'm glad I pulled that up. So
I'm not buying it as a trade right now. I'll tell you that much. I own it in the long-term portfolio. Not going to pay the tax. Going to stick with it. But
okay.
Anyways, let's move on. We talked Biogen. We talked Moderna. We only talked 2 stocks with 17 minutes into the show. Let's go. Power through this. Spencer Israel, to you. Where are we going? Where are we going? Talk to me.
Do you want to talk about? We had a rare midday merger yesterday, and I think they listened to you. Well, I don't actually know if they
did. They
you, Dennis, but maybe they listened to you. The ticker in question is GPX, and remember the last time we talked about mergers on this show, Dennis was upset because the halt happened 3 seconds after the press release hit the tape, and yesterday we had a midday merger, and the press release. The halt came first, okay?
The halt was 10 minutes.
Yeah, the halt was 10 minutes.
10 minutes before. Well, that's good news.
Yep, the halt came at 11:37, and the press release came out at 11:47. So they got the timing right, just for you, Dennis. Just for you.
Good. That's what I want to see. Actually, I'm going to go look at the tail of the tape. So they halted. I'm going to go look right now. I wish I could show my screen. I need to learn how to do that. I'm just looking at the trades themselves.
You want to do it right now? You can do it right now.
No, because I've got my others. It's on a different computer, so that's not going to work than what I'm doing the show on. It looks like 11:30. So when did they unhalt? Okay, so
that's a good question. Let's find out. Hop into the pro.
12:15.
12:07.
12:07.
Okay, I'm writing those times in 12. I just want to see. So we had 11. It was 11:37 and then 12.
12:06. I'm sorry, 12:06. I'll find it.
Okay. Yeah, you can clearly see that this stock 1535 was the last trade at 1134, and then it gapped up to 1980. So it worked perfectly. Nobody picked off. That's how you do it, exchanges. That's how you do it, companies. That's how you keep the money with the people who deserve the money, the people who actually are the shareholders, as opposed to letting everybody get picked off by high frequency traders when you don't halt the stock and just let the merger news hit. Then everybody would have been picked off between $15 and $20, and that did not happen. So good job, exchanges. Good job, companies. Halt those stocks before you announce those mergers. I should get that shirt. Halt the stock before the merger news.
Who's taking them over?
Joel asking the important.
Do we care, really? We were just making a point.
GP, it's a private company. They're merging with Learning Technologies Group. Yeah. So, okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much to say about that.
Nothing to say. I just thought it was
nothing to say
after that. Let's talk about Didi. We had a development overnight in this one.
The funny you say Didi, and I brought up DuPont.
No, I've done that before. Actually.
Let's talk Didi.
Oh, it's DuPont again?
I've done
DD.
that.
Oh yeah, it's
I've done that before on other shows. I'll put the ticker up in the banner, and I put DD the letter DD, not. And then 10 minutes I was like, oh wait, that's not even the right ticker we're talking about. Anyway,
I just thought you want to talk about DuPont because it said let's talk about Didi. I was like, it's DuPont. I trade DuPont all the time.
Yeah, no, DIDI, and the development overnight is that regulators have been dispatched to the Didi's headquarters. They are now on site as part of this cybersecurity probe. So just another development in this story, and it hit shares overnight.
You got one level here, Joel. I'm going to give it to you and steal your thunder here, but it's $11.
Yeah,
this is the level of all levels. It's put the $11 low right on the kisser on the 8th, and then we went down, tested on the 12th, 11.12, and 11.22, 11.06. I mean, all those lows in the same area. That's a level that continues to need to hold. So $11. You always have the unknown, though. We don't know what's going on over there. You got the overnight gap risk on this stock, too. So I'm always scared to have a stock like this in my overnight portfolio. But it pulls back. You got great support at 11, at least in the short term.
A couple notes on this one. First of all, you got a pair of highs to contend with also before you get into that gap area, 1335 and 1342. So that's when you can potentially get bullish the issue. On the downside, now this is not from this week. Obviously, I wasn't here, but last week when the initial news came out, and I believe that was on a Sunday night, and it came out Monday, that thing traded 1090. And I was just thinking, okay, there's your level on the downside, 1090.11. And then I look and it hit it, 3-4 times that week. Got close to it this week. So, I mean, there's a time where, you're keeping that pre-market level, that low, in your head. That's just been one hell of a number. Actually, during the regular sessions, 11's been the number. So that's where the big boys are defending it. And somehow, if this thing can clear 1342, you got the gap to fill and you got some room on the upside. Couple good, if not, trade the range.
Let's just zoom out for a minute and talk overall tech, because we had a little bit of a pullback. Nothing crazy, but minor pullback yesterday. And you look at Apple, Amazon for the third day in a row yesterday, right, or maybe fourth day in a row. So tech is pulling back the last couple of days. Thoughts, both of you?
I mean, you had some rotation. You clearly see this rotation happening from meme stocks to those high, to Apple, to what they see as the safety trade, the mega cap growth tech trade. And when you start seeing a day like AMC had a great day yesterday, GameStop had a great day yesterday. When you start seeing, the rallies in the meme stocks, they hit the mega caps. They are inversely correlated right now. This is not going to last forever. But right now, there is a clear correlation. I mean, this is my job. This is how I make money, is identifying little trends, little mini trends, little relationships. Short-term relationship right now is they have been, they've been buying, when they're buying the meme stocks, they are selling the Apples and the Amazons and the Googles. And when they're selling the meme stocks, they are buying the Apples and the Amazons and the Googles. I have no idea why, but I am clearly seeing that trend. You can clearly see Wish, is a pure meme stock, it's a social media stock that's talked about all the time on my Twitter. I just see it. I don't know if I've ever made a trade on it. Maybe I have, but not very often. But I mean, it's in there all the time. You can clearly see that's been straight down for basically the last month. Apple straight up for the last month. Amazon straight up for the last month, aside from in the last couple days.
Yeah.
So, and then AMC, same story, been going straight down for basically 2-3 weeks. GME kind of been hanging out, but you can see clearly, clearly downtrending for the last 3 weeks as well. And then there's a pile of other ones too. I don't know why that is. I think it's like there's just this, there's this money that moves around, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, this isn't working. We're going into the safety trade, and they see this mega caps as the safety trade. So again, this is not a long-term trend. You're not going to be trading AMC versus Apple a year from now. Right now, I tell you, there's a relationship there, and those relationships can make you money if you can identify them before other people. And yesterday, it was predictable that they might start selling out the mega caps because they were rip rallying the meme stocks.
Apple's had a hell of a run, though. I mean, so they'd hit 150 psychological level, first time it ever hit it, and boom, a little bit of a pullback. Nothing major. The old-time closing high, that was posted on Wednesday, 149.15. So where are you trading at? 48.95. So there, Apple, after just a solid run. So that no big deal.
That 150, Joel, too?
Yeah.
There is so much size in the book there. It's like out of hand. We got a glimpse of it yesterday.
Really?
There is on every book. There's just, because it's never been there before. Right. There is so much stock at 150. Like it's like the Rock of Gibraltar up there. Talking hundreds of thousands of shares at 150, perched at 150. So not surprisingly, gets up to 150, fails there. That's the level. We talked about that 3 days ago. I said, it's going to struggle to get through 150, especially with open options expiring Friday. Maybe we'll have the gas to get through it on Monday, and we take out 150, then it's broken out through that level. But 150 is critical. That's a critical level of resistance for Apple here at this time.
Real quick, moving on to Microsoft. You know how I discussed the all-time high, but the all-time closing high as well. Look at that. It worked like a charm in Microsoft yesterday. All-time closing high Wednesday, 82.51. You opened a tad below that. Where'd you come up to? Stop dead on 82.51. So trading below that, there's your level. In Microsoft, all-time high is actually 366. Amazon, is this going to pull back to the 35.50 area and actually give me a chance to get in?
Yeah.
Much rather have got in on the way when it was going up. Now coming down, it's a different story. Google, that's probably like made a new all-time high every day this week, except for yesterday. Facebook, that didn't get any higher than
it's been struggling to break out.
340. I'd keep an eye on that 340 in Apple, but there's the big tech. I mean, they did sell off, but I mean, you're talking about these stocks one day away, removed from all-time highs.
They could be right back there the next day.
Yep, exactly.
It's hard. I own all these stocks in the long-term portfolio. They're not going anywhere.
What happened? What happened to AMC earlier in the week? What happened?
They just pulled the rug out from under it at 40 down to almost $30 in the after-hour session. It was trading at 31.
You know what I've noticed? I'm not going to give any levels anymore.
But you can give levels on it. You just can't say anything negative about AMC because then you'll get attacked by the.
I'll do it. I'll do that. And I'll be back pre-market prep plus today. I figured out.
You're going to say something negative about AMC?
No, it's just good levels.
I sometimes do. People don't like me for that.
Yeah,
I actually get like hate. Like, I think people wish bad things on me when I say something negative about AMC.
Dennis, no. Okay. Everyone loves you.
Okay.
You know what I like what Dennis said when he was talking about relationships earlier? He said, I don't know why, AMC is inversely correlated to tech stocks. And you probably don't spend any time pondering the why because you don't care.
I think we talked about it back in January.
Yeah.
And it was the whole market is broken factor.
Right.
That like went into it to a certain extent where, when you were seeing GameStop just rip rally and you've seen all the short squeeze stocks. And then you had the fear that, there's money managers, the hedge funds that were getting hurt in this stuff. And they were eventually going to have to raise cash. This was January, the reasoning behind it. My reasoning behind it, the thinking about it, that hedge funds were, getting hurt in GameStop and they were going to have to sell their good stocks in order to finance their bad shorts. I think that was what the market's fear was. I don't think that's the case now, though. I don't think there's hedge funds getting run over in this stuff. I don't think there's a lot of hedge funds probably. If you're still short in AMC, or on valuation, we look at the people who have stepped out of that. I mean, Andrew Left was as a full fundamental trader. I mean, he makes calls from Citron, we're talking, makes calls based on fundamentals to say this has no reason. He made the call on GameStop. So this is no reason to be a $50 stock when he made that call. And then the stock went to $400. And then he stopped giving that analysis altogether. And he came on our show saying, story is everything. He said that. He was one of the first people that said that when you talked about story. And he said, story is everything. I think we have it on a t-shirt now. But I mean, this is, we have a fundamental big trader like Citron scared to short on fundamentals because you can't short a hot story. And we talk about that all the time. The fundamentals don't matter if the story is hot. It's, we disconnect from fundamentals all the time. Hot story will carry a stock. It's fundamentals start to matter when story cools off. And that's what I think you're in the cool off period to a certain extent on AMC. It's a nice bounce back yesterday, but we did say on the show that it's oversold and it was probably due for a bounce. And it did bounce yesterday. Am I coming in here and saying, yeah, AMC's going back to 60 now? I don't think so. You have a lot of overhead supply. You've got a lot of people who are stuck. A lot of people who are holding this thing thinking, I don't like this losing money business. It was going straight up from May, June, and part of July holding on. Now that it's come down, you have some people who, thought they had diamond hands that may have paper hands.
Did the CEO say anything this week? He was all, big mouth guy, on the way up.
I haven't heard from him ever since he said we're not doing that last offering. That was a couple weeks ago. So, no, I haven't heard from him.
And Kramer made a good point because they didn't do that offering. The company is not in as strong as financial position as they could have been. They did not do that offering because they were planning to do the offering. And then there was so many shareholders that stop diluting us. And he listened to the shareholders and he said he listened to the shareholders. They decided not to do the offering because the shareholders didn't want them to do the offering. Now the stock price is coming down. Potentially, Kramer is saying because they didn't do the offering, so they're not in as strong a financial position
You're
as they could
damned
have
if
been.
you do, you're damned if you don't. It's
Kind of were.
lose situation.
Well, when your stock is trading, at crazy valuations, eventually fundamentals always matter in the long run. So fundamentals in the short run don't matter at all. We'll do 2 minutes education. Fundamentals in the short run don't have to matter at all. In the long run, they almost always matter. So you've got to look at it's, your CFA hat works very well in the long run. It doesn't work at all in the short run. So to predict tomorrow's movement, fundamentals really don't matter. Yeah, good earnings reports, sure, stock can pop up on that. But we've seen stocks go down on good earnings reports too. What matters is sentiment in the short run and story. Story is getting cold. If the story was crowded and starts to go cold, there will be a washout. That's kind of what you saw with AMC. You saw to a certain extent with GameStop the other day. But you saw in stocks like Wish, with very crowded longs, and the story cooled off. So story could get hot again. Story, it's picked up a little bit maybe on AMC yesterday, but a little bit just of a bounce, a bounce day where it was oversold. But in the long run, fundamentals almost always matter. They reconnect at some point in time. Is that 2 years down the road? Is that 5 years down the road? It's hard to say. The tech bubble, people were rating off fundamentals. When we were in 1997, 1998, and you had stocks trading at, ridiculous valuations, which you have some today, everybody's like, fundamentals don't matter anymore. We just buy, this is the hot story, this is growth, this is the future. It all reconnected in March of 2000 when we obviously started the tech bubble meltdown, and that lasted for 2 years. And so eventually fundamentals do matter. So if you're a long-term investor investing for decades, you invest on fundamentals. I've always invested on fundamentals, but I trade on sentiment, story, and you're buying what's hot and you're selling what's not. I mean, that's kind of how I traded, and then relationships. So 2 different animals, but just saying if you stick an AMC in your long-term portfolio and it's got a $25 billion market cap or $20 billion market cap or whatever it is, and it was $1 billion last year, it's a little scary. You're paying 20 times more for the stock up here than people were paying last year. It's a bit scary.
We had retail sales coming a little hot for June, up 0.6% month over month versus a 0.4% loss estimate. The prior month was revised downward a little bit, looking like I've got the report open right now. Looking like, no surprise, motor vehicles and parts were your leader. Furniture sales was a leader as well, month over month, year over year. So big gains in furniture, big gains in motor vehicle and parts. No real surprise there. So retail sales hot for the month of June. We got Todd Gordon hopping on with us in a couple.
Oh, awesome. We love Todd.
Excited for Todd. He's a CNBC contributor and the founder of Trading Analysis. In the meantime, let's look at, I've seen it a couple times in chat today, NVIDIA. So get mentioned. There was a headline that let me go into my
when's the split? When's the official day of the split?
We always ask this question. We never remember.
I'm gonna write it down.
Write it down. Write out the sticky little sticky.
What's the date?
I'm pretty sure it's the 22nd, but let me.
Oh man,
I'm sorry, that's the 20th.
So 4 days.
Yeah, so it's coming up.
Oh, I wish it would have been sitting up there near.
I don't want to be short of going into the run up into the split still. You could have another 2-day run up into the split.
Okay.
When is it? No, wait though. The 20th.
That's when it
Tuesday
trades.
Yeah.
So really, it's Monday because the split is effective as of the 20th. So it's really Monday. We really have like today. You got today and tomorrow, right?
Today and Monday.
Today and Monday, right?
And then Tuesday we're trading post split price.
Right.
Okay.
So there's that. So there's that to have.
I don't want to be short the stock. Never into a split. I like being short stocks into reverse splits. I don't like being short stocks into splits. So. I'd be careful. I mean, nice sell-off yesterday there.
I think this is a good setup though, because if you're chopping at the bit and you want to short it, I know not after the split, before the split, but on that day. Yeah, it's so we had not quite 8:30. What's the all-time high? 835. Yep, and then you came down to 790. Let's call 140-point move. So you add 70 to that. Was it 140-point move? No, it wasn't even a 140-point move. It was an 80-point move. You have 40. Let's see what happens at like 800. That's halfway back on that. But I think some people are just saying this is way overdone because of the split. I don't care how many shares I get. I mean, this thing went from 600 to almost 850 with nary a pullback in here. So I think
it's already run on the split.
Yeah,
move.
I don't know. I'd be looking for too much.
I think you get another lift for a day or two. And then sometimes the first day, so what happens is, the mechanics behind it, we're going to get Todd on here in just a minute. We'll keep Todd in a couple minutes because we love Todd. The mechanics behind it are when the stock, and it's 7 for 1. What is it, 5 for 1, 7 for 1?
I think it's
10 for 1?
4 for 1. It's
4 for 1.
Yeah.
So
it's only 4 for 1?
The mechanics are that you often see some brokers, for whatever reason, fail to adjust their orders, or they don't adjust it fast enough. So what happens is the next morning when it's trading post-split is you'll have some orders on the book that'll still be priced like $700, but the stock price has to fall, down for the 4 for 1. So, if it closes at $800, it's supposed to be at $200. So you'll have some orders on there, 500, 600. That can hold up the opening print. So often what you see is, the opening print is higher, significantly higher than, like I'm talking like a couple of percent. But, as an arbitrager, 2% is huge. So, it might open up and then it seems to tank after that. So you often have those old orders, for whatever reason, that get stuck on the book that don't get adjusted for the split. They're supposed to get adjusted, but some of them just in reality just don't. And those orders can hold up the price. And then what you see is the stock opens at an elevated price on post-split day, and then often leaks down. And then usually you see a few days of weakness post-split. That's just the quantitative approach to it. It doesn't always work, but, we live as traders, we don't live in the absolutes. So we live in, looking at, probabilities. And the probability is that, that stock could end up opening a little higher post-split day, and then they often leak. Todd.
A few people in chat asking about Marcus. Marcus actually for like the entire month of July is out of town. Anyway, okay. No Marcus. Also, I don't know if Marcus will be joining us every Friday like he was, but we would definitely be sure to get him back at some point. Todd,
we like Marcus.
Todd is not yet here in the studio, so let's keep on going.
I'm texting
Todd, I'm emailing Todd, but he's not yet here. What else did
Is he on CNBC right now? No, he's not on
S&Ps are rolling north here, folks. We're rolling north. 43.64. We're up 12 handles, trending near the. It seems like there was a lot of, just from the few times I checked the markets, it just seemed like there was a lot of chop. Like we would be up near the highs, we'd have a break, and then we would just come back near the middle of the day. So I'm sure we're still up on the week, but I did jot down the all-time closing high as my top number on my sheet today, and that's not too far away. That's 43.7650. So seems like it's been kind of a choppy week, but still, where are we at? Where do we close for the week? I like to see how we're doing things on a weekly perspective. Last Friday we closed at 43.60. Bad week for the market. We're only up 4 handles, so we'll keep an eye on that. All-time high, 84.50. If I would have been here on Thursday, I would have said we got a double top, 83.75, 84.5. But we'll see. Lows coming down. Yesterday's high, 70.25.
It's a lot of buy imbalances here so far this morning. Again, you're on option expiration, so those buy imbalances can quickly flip to sell imbalances. But right now, I'm seeing pretty much buy imbalances across the board. They're not huge, but they're big. And that's a little bit of the driver for the SPY this morning as well.
Okay. All right. What else? What else are we doing?
I saw you had the ride chart up.
Right up.
Yeah. Well, there was there was a headline. They acknowledged, probably isn't a surprise, but they acknowledged the DOJ investigation. Though these investigations tend to follow whenever there is like some sort of a longer form like media report, and there was one such article in the New York Times a couple of days ago just about really centered around the SPAC founder, the SPAC manager, and how the merger came about in the first place, and the lack of due diligence that the SPAC did on Lordstown Motors. That was kind of the point of the article. So these investigations tend to follow those types of articles, and so that's what happened yesterday. Is Lordstown disclosed that the U.S. Attorney General in the District of New York is looking into the company. So
$8. You got there yesterday, and you got there the day before. That was also the low back here. 788 last 2 days. Low 791, 792. So there's your must hold level. RIDE. No position, no interest in trading it.
A couple other headlines. I saw somebody mention TAP earlier. They have reinstated their dividend. There was a few things as well. They reinstated their dividend. They reaffirmed their guidance. They paid off some debt, and it all sounds good. Healthy balance sheet stuff for Molson Coors.
There's a stock that's come down a lot. There's a reopening play. That's a reopening play. Obviously, we know Molson Coors fills the bars and the restaurants, so that's a reopening play. It's come down quite a bit. I kind of like it at 50. I don't like them buying them up $1 on the news, but that's to get forgotten. I think you got support here coming in at 50. I mean, it's been an impressive move. It's got a nice little dividend now with the dividend reinstated at 2.62%. So I like it here in the low 50s.
Just not a great looking chart though. I mean, it from a monthly perspective, you got nowhere near back those highs that you had, the old time highs back in 2017.
Oh yeah, it's been in the gutter for a long time.
And then I know
you know why, Joel? You know why Molson Coors has struggled? Craft breweries. In my opinion, it's craft breweries.
Yeah.
There's so many bars and restaurants that are serving local little microbreweries. There's competition. You think back and it was like, oh yeah, Molson, these are the big people are drinking craft beer like crazy. And it's not surprising, that the stock, this is a secular trend, we've been going down with TAP because of craft breweries. But I still don't think Molson Coors is going away. I think there's some value here. People who drink Molson's going to continue to drink Molson. People who drink Coors, and they obviously have a lot of other beers too. And they probably have some of these microbreweries themselves. But I mean, there is competition, immense competition in the alcoholic beverage industry.
What about did we get that?
And Dennis, you didn't talk about hard seltzer is like the thing now.
Oh yeah, did that make it to Michigan yet? Or
yeah, that was Camilo was on. Is he still on this? Anybody know if? No, does anybody? People follow Dumb Money. Anybody in the chat know if Chris sold out of TAP? If he's still in it or not?
I don't know. But Joel's referencing ranch water, which is not what I'm talking about. That drink has not made it up here yet. But hard seltzer is everywhere. But no, ranch water is what Chris was telling.
That's what he was talking about.
I tried some ranch water when I was down in Tennessee.
Good.
It was it was in a can. It was a canned ranch water. It was okay. It was just I don't know, what is it? It was like tequila and seltzer, I think. I don't know. It hasn't made it up here.
We gotta bring Chris back on the show. Chris finds these trends early.
Thank you, Kennedy.
That's what they do over there. So I'm not sure if Chris is still in. Somebody said Josh follows him and he hasn't sold yet. So Chris is still in.
Luis Carpi says, I believe he's still in TAP. So
yeah.
They got 60 though on the monthlies. Yeah, you could have said you could have fret when it went to 62, or actually 61.48. That was in June. May 61.11. That was also the high 61.84 in February. So I don't know. That looks like a hard top up there, and now we're back closer to 50. So taking a look at Molson Coors.
All right. Well, I just called and emailed Todd, and he's not answering. So I hope.
Oh no, Todd. Okay. We love you. We were giving you some props. He's a busy guy though, and he's the best when he come on. He's
got young kids, but I want. Oh yeah, that's true. I know Joel wants to talk about the Horseys because Saratoga just reopened. Oh wait, speak of the devil, here he is. Let's bring him on.
Yeah.
Todd Gordon, CNBC contributor, founder of TradingAnalysis.com. Let's do it, Todd. Good morning.
Whoa. Good morning. What's up, guys?
New setup. I like it.
Look at this.
I mean, new for us.
I see. I like the dartboard in the background. Do you play darts?
Not well. Right. Dennis, are you good?
No. I was back in the university days. I'd be better than I am now. I haven't shot darts in years, but that's kind of like a barroom thing back in the day. I like pool and I like darts back in the day. I used to say like I'm an athlete. I play darts and I play pool.
Dennis, why don't you tell the truth? What you do when you go to bars?
What do I do when I go to bars?
Curling.
Curling. Oh yeah, we all have
yeah,
curling.
of course, as a Canadian. Oh, as a Canadian,
yeah.
Of course you're curling. Yeah, right.
we're right there. So.
Wait, are you a lefty, Dennis?
No, right. Yeah, right.
Okay.
No,
It's amazing how many left-handed golfers come out of Canada because of hockey.
I'm not a good golfer either. So I was never a great hockey player either. I still try to play, but I'm not very good. My kid's 6 years old. He'll end up being better than me in a hurry. So,
wow.
Todd, what's going on? What's on your radar?
Oh man, what's going on? Bull market. Inflation was I think it's still a hoax. I think.
Whoa. Okay, we got to talk about this. No, I want to hear your thoughts. Inflation, a hoax.
No, I think Jerome Powell. I think the Fed they're taking a lot of flack. I think they've done a really good job of keeping prices, keeping inflation under wraps, keeping it under control. I do believe it's transitory. I think this whole rotation into value, I stuck, with tech. I'm heavily long tech. It definitely had a pretty good 6-month drawdown, but I think we're being rewarded now. I do think it's transitory. I think, when there's so much on the demand side of the equation, supply in this day and age will catch up. So I do think it's transitory. I think, those are big CPI and PPI prints we just saw. I think I agree with the Fed in this case. I do think it's transitory. I do think it will settle down. And I think tech as an extension will continue to go. I think we're in a major tech bull market.
And that's the thing. And, Kathy Wood was on CNBC 2 days ago, and she was talking about, deflation from technological innovation. And there is a point to that.
It's real.
There's a point to that.
It's real. I mean, I think from 4 ends, this is why you need to be long tech. I think it's deflationary because of an aging population, which is not so much technology, but there's a constant demand for yield, right? So bonds are constantly being bid as people are living longer. People are retiring at 65 and 68. And, now they have a 30-year investing horizon. So there's a constant demand for yield, which is going to put downward pressure on rates. Technology is increasing operating margin efficiency. Margins are getting much better. Middle class is continuing to be displaced, which is why I think the Fed needed to come in and just shower the economy with liquidity, both monetary and fiscal policy. I think they needed to do this because the middle class is being displaced with technology, globalization, right? We're bringing in workers from around the world you're not being replaced by tech, but globalization is pushing the cost of labor down, which is again increasing in efficiency. And tech is just making our lives easier. I mean, guys, I was on the beach last week and I hooked my iPhone 12 up to 5G, which, dude, I was getting 2 gigabyte downloads on the beach, 2,000 megabyte download on 5G on my phone. And I'm thinking, I'm sorry to just go off on this, but Kathy Wood holding Tesla, Tesla, if you want to go in that direction, when Tesla connects their fleet of cars, either individual passengers or taxis with SpaceX, which is going to be, it's going to blanket the globe in terms of internet coverage. When Tesla can connect to the satellite in terms of autonomous driving, that's game over. So I'm very bullish tech.
And it's what's worked in the last decade, and you're bullish the overall trend. I mean, tech is what has worked. Everything else, to a certain extent, hasn't. You can look at the banks, and they've had a pretty good run here as of late. But you look at Citigroup in the last decade, and it's really gone nowhere. If anything, if you look a little bit further, it's down. So it's been the best place to be. It probably continues to be the best place to be. We're in the technological, revolution, call it. So what about though for so I get deflation, and driving and helping us to be more efficient in the tech from a technology perspective. But what about people are saying I'm paying $100 for my 4 bags of groceries? I do see real inflation in food. I do see real inflation in gas. I do see real inflation in building costs, where, a spool of wire that, somebody was tweeting out was $30 2 years ago and it's $100 today. I'm seeing inflation in other areas. Is that a concern?
Absolutely. I mean, there's deflation in certain corners of the economy, and then there's inflation otherwise. I mean, we're in a bull market. We're awash with liquidity. I think, Joel, I was at the track yesterday. Holy cow, you should have seen Saratoga yesterday. I mean, people are out spending money. I mean, is it a bit of a relief rally post-COVID? Yeah, for sure. We'll see where that goes. I I don't know. I don't know, Dennis. I don't know what the answer is to that. I think in certain areas there is downward price pressure, but in other areas of our lives there's upward price pressure, which I think is a function on that side, not so much on the supply side, but on the demand side, which, thank God we're not going to Japan route. Thank God we're not, maybe the two are going to equally balance each other out in terms of inflationary and deflationary pressures. And maybe it's a good scenario that we have some inflation. I don't know. I honestly, that's where I have to say this is above my pay grade. I don't know.
You're just sticking with tech because that's what's worked, and you do see those deflationary pressures in technology itself. Okay, so give us a couple tech stocks. You mentioned Tesla already. Would you still be? Well, I mean, from a valuation perspective, it's always been scary. But what are your thoughts? Are we in the digestion period? Is Tesla continue to go higher from these prices?
It's crazy. I mean, I think we're trading 150 times next 12 months earnings. I mean, it's insane valuation. PE is still probably, I don't know, what is 1100, 1050 PE. It's insane. Right. I had this discussion last night. I think Elon is being priced as if, let's say the internet had the ability to reprice Jeff Bezos when he was selling CDs and books online, right? Could you, like a visionary like Elon, I think they're putting a multiple on him because Tesla is clearly not a car company. There's so many other things. So the valuation is insane from a tech point of view, a technical point of view. I'm an LE wave guy. I time my ideas based on LE wave. We're just breaking from a fourth wave triangle. It's been a period of consolidation between 1,000 and 600 for a long time. I think we're easily going to get back to 1,000 in Tesla. I just did CNBC a couple days ago, talking about Apple. Love where Apple's at. In terms of we're just hitting new highs here. Love what this company's doing. I think Netflix is dead money. They're just coming into the video game space. I think that's I don't like. Yeah, I think they're reaching. And I mean, do you guys have a feeling like where are you guys on Netflix?
I don't know how. I've not been a Netflix bull for a long time. I like that they're going into video games and trying different things. I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if they know how it works yet either. It's been in a long period of consolidation here, but it hasn't gone nowhere in a year. And
you guys are traders, so you know this. Like I joke with my members and investors. I hate trading Netflix. Excuse me. It's the worst trading stock, Dennis. Have you noticed that? Like, do you pick up on that at all?
Well, it's widespread is the problem too. So you're always trading a buck wide on the thing, and it's 100 shares by 100 shares. As an institutional trader, it's not that easy to move big money, even though it's a $543 stock. And yeah, to your normal human being saying, 100 shares, $50,000, I can just put that in there. But if you're an institutional trader and trying to move, 10, 20, 30 million worth of Netflix in and out, you're going to push price a little bit. It's not that liquid, even though it trades, fairly actively. It's often 50 cents to a buck wide. I mean, even in the pre-market now, amazing. It's a buck wide.
That's amazing. I used to day trade as I used to be in there in the spreads and watching. I haven't seen that. I'm even talking on a swing trading point of view. Like Netflix is just annoying to trade, but on the higher end, like it's been, I think it went into a range as of like July 10th of last year. So it kind of looks like the Amazon 1 year range, right? It's dead money. On the video game thing, I just did CNBC yesterday talking about this. Like, I think they're way over their skis on this video game thing. Like, all right, so Apple tried to launch the video games, and you're utilizing the hardware with the Apple TV. So there's a little bit of computing power and processing power. They're trying to get in and do video games. Like, you're going to be using the processing power on your TV. Like, people are trying to get bulled up on Netflix in a technical consolidation based on this. I'm like, I just don't see it. Kids want computing power. I mean, look at the semiconductor rally that we're in right now. Like, you need to have computing power. I'm thinking I have Netflix. I don't know why I still have it. I probably need to close it.
You hate the stock so much you don't want the product either.
Hey, Tom, before we let you go here, I know you said you're out at Saratoga and the good crowd and everything, but help me get excited about the Travers Stakes. I mean, with the Derby winner coming down and Baffert and all his shenanigans and stuff. I mean, I'm kind of down. Give me a reason. Get me excited about horse racing again.
Well, I mean, listen, you're my go-to guy. I go to you. I'm terrible at betting. I was texting. I'm buddies with Chad Brown up here. He's one of the world famous trainers. And I was texting him, and I was like, "Give me a horse," and he gave me something Smart Fellow or Clever Fellow in the 10th. He's like, this is my horse. And I gave it as a pick as the closing trade yesterday on TV. And I think came in 5th. So I go right to the top and I still lose.
It's tough. It's tough.
So, come up here, man. You had your daughter's wedding last year, I believe.
Yep.
Right?
We'll try it. I'll talk to the traveling committee. The head of the traveling committee.
Traveling committee. I love.
I want to.
I've got a good guest suite for you. Your own.
Okay.
Come on.
Wait, Joel's got an investment committee. He's got a traveling committee, and he's not on either of them.
It's Joel's world we're living in.
He's not on either of the committees, though.
No, yeah, I know. He's not on any of the committees.
I'm the secretary of the committees. No, I'll try it. I will look for that. But no, we'll see what happens. But just before we go, I just want to ask you, did you ever get swept up into cryptocurrencies and the Bitcoin and stuff, or not in your wheelhouse? Because to me, I mean, it just seems dead money here at 32,000. I just wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah. I'm proud to say I was early in Bitcoin. I started trading it when it was I have my first Bitcoin at $330.
Wow.
I was early. I have it. I think it is dead money. To your point, like, did you guys see the news? The Dogecoin founder is pretty much like goodbying crypto.
Yeah,
He's like,
oh my god, that was an incredible thread. That was
crazy.
An incredible thread. He really hates cryptocurrency.
Like Elon, like I love Elon. I'm bowled up on him, but all the stupid things he says about crypto, he backs Dogecoin, and then the founder of Dogecoin, Parker, whatever his name is, says crypto is designed to decentralize finance and circumnavigate the big, huge institutional financial players. But now it's all designed to serve them. So the very purpose why crypto was invented is now, it's working against the small guy. And it's crazy. So yeah, I'm in it. I hold it. It was a 1.5% chunk of my portfolio. Now it's 0.75 bips of my portfolio.
Less.
Whatever. And I have a crypto service. My guy, Alex Gabricia, he runs my crypto service. He's great. Whatever. I hate to say it. I have to have a piece of it, but I'd rather be in tech stocks.
Okay. Thank you.
That's how we feel. I
you guys are the same way?
I have to have a piece. I have to. Like, I have to have some credit.
Right. Yeah. If it goes to 0, I'm going to risk the 75 bips of the 1% of my portfolio. Fine. But if it changes our life, great. The risk reward, I think everyone has to have a piece, but unfortunately it's whatever. And then, guys, can I plug my next venture? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Go ahead. Plug away.
No. So I studied hard. I just passed the Series 65, which is the Uniform Securities investment exam. So I'm finally, after 20 years. Wow, look at you pulling
big time now with the sound effects.
Holy cow. So I'm trading analysis. My business is, I've got 5 guys running it. They're excellent, led by Bennett Tyndall. I'm moving into to wealth management. So finally time to run portfolios, and I'm excited. So moving up to Saratoga was kind of part of it. And listen, I love trading just like you guys, but I feel like the best money to be made right now is being in the market. And I think there's been so many people who are trying to scare you out of the market for all these various reasons for years. And I can trade the short side of the market just like you guys can, but like I'm bullish. I think we're in a strong market.
Well, where do you go? I mean, it's right back to the Tina trade. There's no alternative here. So I mean, if you're not in stocks, where are you going? Are you going to go in bonds and get 2% and lose to inflation?
You're losing money. I mean, you're losing money. You're
there's nowhere else to be, really.
There's no, and the Fed is engineering that. And you know what? Like, it's fine. If that's the trade we're going to be in. Plus, I mean, again, guys, I mean, I just got 2 GB downloads sitting on the beach. Like, I was trading in San Diego, Dennis, prop trading. Like, and I always remember 20 years ago when I started, I was like, can you imagine if we could trade on the beach? Like, it's amazing what happened. We were in a technological revolution pre-COVID. COVID only accelerated it. And then the Fed dropped a couple $1 trillion on top of the economy. I just don't think you overthink this market.
Todd Gordon is the founder of Trading Analysis and soon to be a founder of a wealth management firm. Todd Gordon, always a pleasure, sir.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Joel, Dennis, any final thoughts before we hop off? Or before we hop off?
We're on option expiration. We're going to get some volatility here at the open. Still pretty major buy imbalances here that I'm seeing across the board. Just give you a few. Taiwan Semiconductor, 173,000 to buy. Bank of America, 420,000 to buy. Disney, 59,000 to buy. I'm seeing some weakness in SKL Zebra. They did have a press release this morning. They were redeeming the warrants. So it's actually, if you look at sklz.ws, you're seeing the warrants get hit pretty hard here this morning on that headline. So where SKLZ is trading basically flat, but it's getting a little bit of pressure on it because the warrants are getting hit really harder right now. So I haven't had time to really go through that, but that's the release. That's why the warrants are trading down here this morning.
All right.
No, I'm just going to say, follow through the pre-market high as always. You definitely Thursday's high. That's going to be a good area to look at. That's 5 points ahead at 70.25. And let's make a new all-time closing high for the week above 76.50. So I'm going to hop off and go over premarketprep.com. We missed a lot of symbols there. So join me, and Spencer, I'll see you at 3:30.
All right, Joel, good to have you back. Dennis, good luck today. Guys, what I wanted to do now, before I bring on Jonathan Mallon and Ryan Faloona, is we don't do a good enough job, I think, of telling you about like our other shows that, we're live every morning from 8 to 9, but we go live until like 6, 7 p.m. some days, right? And even onto the weekends. What I want to do now is bring on someone who's hosting a show for us on Sunday evenings, Swing Pony, and I'll bring her on here and she'll tell us about her background, and I'll tell you, and we'll tell you about the show. So Swing Pony, welcome.
Hi, Spencer.
To my show. Welcome to my show.
Pre-market prep. That's where it's at.
This is where the party's at every Monday, but the party ends usually at like 9 o'clock, at like 9:10. So, all right, tell us about you, tell us about your background, and tell us about your show.
So super excited. I'm hosting a show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. A little bit about me. I am a first-year trader, so obviously it's been a really interesting time to enter the market when everything was on the up and the rise, and sort of navigating the changes in the flow and understanding that really I only know a portion of how the market operates and how there's so much more. So it's been a great experience. I mostly do swing trading, but the inspiration behind the show, Mind Money Method, is really just about bringing on other seasoned traders and learning more about their trading psychology, mindset, and then simple tips and techniques that they use within their everyday style. Because I think, to me, honestly, the most appealing thing about trading is that you can sort of craft your toolbox and tackle the market very differently, depending on your style. So it's always great for me to hear from other traders and have them sort of share their stories and their little edge and their simple strategies that we can learn from and incorporate in our own trading style.
So Swing Pony, Sundays at 8 p.m. Give us like either your best or your worst trade to date.
Ooh, okay. So that's a fun one because they're both the same. Yeah, naturally. So Mara was my first trade.
Okay.
Blockchain mining, and I ended up buying it at almost at the top the day before. And then it went up like 30%. And I was like, yes, I've got this. And I put a bunch of money in at the top and it all went downhill. This was, I think, like August or September of last year. And then I pretty quickly learned about, scaling in and all that good stuff. Every novice error that you could make, I made with Mara. So I ended up holding on to it all the way down until I finally cut my losses. And then I learned, some foundational strategies about swing trading. And I re-entered it back when I, finally had a system, and I played all the little waves. You see the ups and downs in Mara. Mm-hmm. It really just became an ATM machine. So I learned a lot from messing up with it. And then I went back and revisited with a plan and just continue to profit off of it. So
very nice. Yeah. All right. Swing Pony, Sundays, 8 p.m. on this channel. Here's a quick video. Mind Money Method with Swing Pony Sundays at 8 p.m. right here. Swing Pony.
Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, let's keep this party going, guys. On Fridays, we like to do something a little bit different. Normally the show ends at 9:15. But Fridays we go a little bit long, right? So what I'm going to do now is bring on my buddies Jonathan Mallard, aka Mallard the Duck, and Ryan Faloona, aka I don't know, the guy from Chicago. Ryan, Mallard, what's going on? How are we doing this morning? What are we watching out there?
I don't think
Ryan, you're on mute, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. It's early. It's hard for us to follow Swing Pony after that, but we're gonna keep the party rolling here, Spencer.
Okay. Oh yeah. Let's party. Let's party. Let's keep the party going. What are you watching this morning?
So I actually only have 2 watches this morning. Amazingly, I'm looking at AEHR. All right, they reported earnings. Looks like a beat. A lot of times these things have legs. If you were in our chat earlier, you could see there's a lot of our chat members in Pro getting ready to trade AEHR. You can see it in the movers tool as well. And then I'm also looking at Xela, XELA. I actually hit this earlier this week. This has been running. This has been moving quite a bit. So we're going to watch these 2 today. Basically just have some levels, some near-term levels from the pre-market and the after-hour session yesterday.
Mallard, what are you watching? And Ryan, why don't you share your screen and we can do
good idea.
Yeah, Mallard, what are you watching this morning?
Yeah, we got some movers off of initiations this morning. I always like analyst ratings. So, just looking at NKTX, Nakarta up 10%. We've got Play Studios up 6.9%. So all that's on the calendar, the analyst ratings calendar, looking at initiations. So yeah, that's NKTX, MYPS, and then we've got let's see here, and then Maxar Technologies is up 5.6%. These are all off of those initiations.
There's a lot of ratings. We didn't even go through ratings today. There's a lot of ratings this morning. A couple of them are earnings reactions. I'm ignoring the Alcoa and the Cintas because they're going to be based on the earnings reports. But a lot of initiations this morning, and a couple of downgrades, which are always interesting. We didn't talk FibroGen FGE, and that's your big loser of the day. They had some negative data from, or the FDA basically declined to approve one of their drugs. Again, it was a landslide vote. So FGEN is your big loser. But yeah, there you see NKTX and Mallard, which is talking about MYPS right there as well. Those are both at Oppenheimer initiating an outperform. Which is their equivalent of the buy, obviously. Okay, let's move on to Mr. Mallard's. I'm sorry, Mr. Faloona's screen here. You can see he's got his movers tool up, or his scanner tool up on the left, I believe. Oh, no, that's the movers tool.
That's movers.
And then,
movers in the pre-market.
Yeah, movers in the pre-market, and then your chart up on the right. And let's look at some charts.
All right, so again, we're going to start here with AEHR. This is the one that I'm looking for. I'm actually a little bit concerned. When we first took a look at this, we were in between some of these other levels here. So I think one of the things I might do in case we pull right out of the open, trying to identify another support level. This thing, I'm hoping, because it's gapped up, I'm hoping we get a little bit of a pull. I know Dennis said that the opening was going to be volatile today. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a pull, hook some of the stock, and then just kind of flip it. So this is going to be my main chart. I'm pretty sure that this is what I'm going to try to trade. If we get pretty crummy action in here, I would flip over to Xela. But look how extended this is in the pre-market, right? Again, the whole thing here is I'm going to want this to come back into. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to hold with this being up so much. So these are pretty much the 2 charts that I'm looking at. I would always advise that you look to the left. You can see here Xela, Xela, however you want to pronounce it. This thing is no stranger to one-day pops, big-time pops. So we're hoping to catch that, right? We're hoping we're going to be able to catch that today.
We should point out in maybe the reason it's trading higher this morning, right, is because options are live. The stock is optionable as of today.
There we go. We're going to trade the equity here today, right? That'd be cool. That'd be one thing to watch if we start getting any types of sweeps, any types of big buys or anything like that. That could actually ignite the stock too. We're just going to trade the equity though.
Okay, but being optionable is the catalyst, and it's interesting that they're optionable.
Absolutely.
Interesting that they're optionable on an expiration. That's not really relevant for this stock, but yeah, becoming optionable is a news event. And so there you go, XCLA. All right, let me bring up my movers tool, which I think a little bit different than Ryan's because we've got some different filters on. So, like I said, FGEN, your big loser of the day, and then not sure what's going on with this GBNY. It's got very light volume, so I don't think there's anything to see there. But Generations Bancorp, this might be like your viral stock of the day, GBNY. Very light volume this morning, but it is up 44%. Not sure what's going on there. We talked about Moderna already. See, every day there's all the stocks at the top of my movers tool are like names I don't recognize. Here, like ALUT, right? So they had earnings, right? ALUT, American Outdoor Brands. They had earnings after the close yesterday. And let's see what they said as far as guidance. Their guidance was okay. Guidance was okay. Earnings were okay. The sales missed a little bit. Missed by $500,000. Who really cares about that? So anyway, ALUT is down this morning off that report, but and light volume there as well. So just keeping an eye on my movers tool. Same thing as Ryan. That's what we do into the open, right? Is just keep an eye on the movers tool and watch our charts. Mallard, what are you watching besides those initiations?
Yeah, I've got my favorite newsfeed category filters that I always look at, and I'm looking at a decent amount of FDA activity this morning. So if you're looking at the FDA tags or the healthcare tags or the biotech tags, you'll see that it looks like HutchMed Limited had an approval, and so that's up 6.3% off of the European Medicines Agency validated and accepted its marketing authorization, so on and so forth, for the extra pancreatic neuroendocrine tumors. So yeah, that's good. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out at the open, since it's already up 6%.
Yeah, WK Harris in the chat, GBNY will be like CARV. I mean, it certainly fits the bill, right? Let me pull up my GBNY chart, and it fits the bill of like these stupid low float. For whatever reason, there are these low float bank stocks, and I don't understand it, right? CARV is the same thing, right? Carver Bancorp. You look at the daily chart, you see there's just ridiculous action here. This based on absolutely nothing, based on just pumping, right? So low float, easy to push around. GBNY seems like it could be that type of situation today. WK Harris. Let's go back to Mallard screen. Let's go back to Ryan's screen here. So
yeah, one of the other things, Spence, I was taking a look at was Fubo here. This is another one that's kind of interesting.
They had news.
What?
They had news yesterday.
Yeah, they're trading. It looks like they're doing a sports book in Pennsylvania. I mean, this type of news has ignited other stocks like this as well. Fubo, of course, was one of those huge runners not long ago. Even let's take a look at the daily chart. I feel like this was recent. Yeah, I mean, look at some of these huge spikes. So if this could catch fire, I don't necessarily have a plan for it yet, but it could catch fire.
I didn't look at it this morning. I mean, you can see it's off the after hours high. It spiked up right away on that headline that they're in their. Basically, the headline is that they're in their fourth state now, Pennsylvania, for a sports book. So they're going to go live with their sports books in Q4. They're already in. What is it? It's New Jersey. It's Iowa. What's the third one? Is it Maryland or is it New York? But regardless, Pennsylvania is what they announced yesterday. So fourth market entry for Fubo in terms of the sports book. So it is often
really quick, Spence. Mike, Fubo is one of my favorite stocks. Watch, it's going to be $150 stock if the market doesn't collapse. All right?
What?
This is Indiana, by the way. Thank you, Mike, for the help there.
Thank you,
yeah, interesting. This is what I mean. I mean, like I said, Fubo has some fans here, and what Mike is telling you, what Mike is saying right there, this is one of the things that can actually get this to go. Just having enough people really believing in this and really liking it. Looking at the intraday 1 minute chart here that I had on my screen, I actually really like this pattern, right? We went up, we set a high, we came back in. Now we're starting to curl back towards that high. Let's see if we hold it. For me, if we are going to trade this today, we got to stay above 26.63. Otherwise, we're going to go challenge some other lows. So, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. There was another question in here that I wanted to answer. It looks like Christian Gallagher is asking, if an option contract finishes right at the strike price, do they exercise it for you? I don't think I've ever had this happen. I've been close 4 or 5 cents though. Yes, Christian. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. So if the call is in the money, even if it's in the money to the penny, if it is in the money, your broker will exercise that contract at expiration. So if your contracts expire, I don't know, if it's different for a broker. If your contracts expire on Friday, the exercise will take place on Saturday, and you will take possession of that stock. So that is exactly what happens. It really just comes down. The value doesn't matter. It matters if it's in the money or out of the money. That's it.
Great question, though.
Yeah, that was a good question. And when I first started trading options, all I was doing was flipping the premium. I had no intention of exercising these options. The fee through my broker is ridiculous. I mean, I think it's like $30 to exercise options. And it's just like when you're used to zero trade, when you're used to no cost on your trades, it's like, why would I do that? I just buy the stock and not pay a fee. But whatever. I don't really like exercising. That's more of like a long-term thing. If I'm just going to be in a long-term position, I'm just going to buy the stock. It's pretty simple.
That's how I think
Yep.
about things.
That's exactly. The options are a great trading vehicle, but again, I'm just flipping the premium. I mean, when you start to get into some more advanced strategies by mitigating your risk, by buying contracts at a different strike to finance other contracts, that's a different story. You could have an entirely different trade plan in that case. But if you're just trading options, if you're just flipping the premium, I try to stay away from exercising them.
Selling premium, generally speaking, more profitable strategy than buying options. It's just
well, I mean, if all options expire, if 80% of options expire worthless, selling the premium is the way to go. That's to your point, Spence. That's what we saw in Virgin Galactic last weekend. Premium sellers won the day. Everyone was hyped about the launch. Thing traded up even in the after hours on Friday. Thing was trading up, and then on Monday it just got spanked. 3 days in a row or something like that?
Yeah, look at this.
Did it finally find some footing?
Look at the daily. This is bad. So, like, we did a power hour chat challenge last Thursday, running till the end of this week, and I was like, I'm going to pick Space as my best performing stock of the week.
Who said that?
I did.
Did you say it just like that?
just like that. That was $20 ago. Literally, that was at $52. Space is down $20 this week.
So it doesn't. Wow. It looks like someone else is going to win that one.
Yeah, it won't be me. If you entered that contest to win some free stuff, free swag, tune into the Power Hour today. We will talk about the likely winner, but it's as of the closing price today. So it won't be me. Anyway. What else here? Let's go back to the movers tool, and there were more things I think I wanted to cover. We didn't really talk about Tesla. I mean, we did a little bit with Todd. I wanted to ask Todd about the flying cars. You guys saw that? Adam Jonas over at Morgan Stanley had a note out. I think it was yesterday. Basically, just speculating. The whole thing was speculation, and he was upfront about that fact, but speculating on Tesla's flying car business and how big that could be. And it's like, if you're a Tesla bear, then this is just like the biggest eye roll ever, right? Okay, we're going to speculate about flying cars when they can't even do full self-driving. But if you're a Tesla bull, you're like, you damn right, flying cars, let's go. So,
I want to see the jetpacks.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm waiting. Yes.
Why not a Tesla jetpack?
I don't know.
Wait, you just bring the pack into your garage, you charge it up, you want to go to work, you just fly over to work. I mean, that sounds awesome. That's how you pump me up. I mean, give me a jetpack. Forget the car. I want a jetpack.
Wait, are the flamethrowers still a thing?
I don't think so. I don't have a need for a flamethrower. I mean, what do you do? Here's the thing. What are you doing with the flamethrower? Are you lighting your cigarette with are you lighting a cigarette with a flamethrower? Are you lighting your bonfire? What are you doing with a flamethrower?
Wait, are we going to Mallard's house later with a flamethrower? Do you have one?
I don't have one. I will take one, and we'll go live with our bonfire flamethrower bonfire. We'll need it though because it's raining today. So
yeah. True. Mallard is the craftsman with the chainsaw, by the way. So if you and the other thing, Matt, I've heard, I can't confirm this, but I've heard that Mallard is working on his ice sculptures using the chainsaw. So maybe we'll be able to see one of those in the future.
It's July.
Well, exactly. That's why I said in the future, bro.
Oh, okay.
I got a question. Why isn't there Tesla scooters?
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, that's probably a whole other thing. Like
Boom.
you could
You
argue
mean like a razor?
Yeah, no, like the ones you see in the city, you know?
he means like bird.
Like bird, exactly.
You could argue they missed that whole thing, but like who needs it, right? Those things are a public nuisance.
I mean, in the city, they're used every day, man. I can tell you, I lived in Denver, and at 6 p.m., if you didn't get a scooter at 5:30, you can bet that there's not a single scooter in the whole city that you can grab.
You can't say you've ridden one of those scooters until you've almost died riding one of them. Because I think everyone
or seen someone almost die.
Yeah, or seen someone almost die.
Yeah. I've almost seen a few people get hit, and it's scary for a few seconds before you start laughing. It's rough.
Those things are dangerous. Oh wait, you know what? Speaking of scooters, so we actually have a couple scooters in the office here. And last summer, when there was like, this is all topic, we'll get back to stocks in a second. But like last summer, when there was like nobody in the office, like there was like at most 5 people here on any given day. We had like a track going around the middle of the office, and we would do time trials to see who could go around in the fastest. This is what we were doing last summer when nobody was around. But now people are here, and you can't be doing that, during the workday. But when nobody was here last summer, that's what we would do. Sometimes during the day or later on in the evening. But those days are gone. Like,
I mean, that sounds like fun. I mean,
yeah,
I'd do a few time trials. I'll tell you that much.
It's fun. Okay. Back to the Benzinga Pro. Let's keep my movers still open. We will move over to a scanner at the open, which shows which I track price activity from the price action from the opening tick there. But what else are you guys seeing in chat? I know there's a lot of tickers that we didn't get to on the show this morning. Somebody mentioned Oatly. That thing just did not hold $20 after the short report. It's trying to this morning, but it's failing. So Oatly, some person keeps asking us about Oatly, and I'm sorry if you're underwater in this thing. I don't really know what to tell you. You're at an all-time low yesterday, right? So I don't know what there was to say about that, other than hold on for dear life, or maybe write some cover. I don't know.
You were saying yesterday that the IPO price was like 17 something.
Well, what was the opening? The opening was 22. We can look at the IPO price quickly.
It was priced at 17 something, but then it opened at 22. I think
it was priced at. It was priced at 22.
Oh, priced at 22
and opened at 22.12. Generally speaking, if you don't get that first day pop, that's not a good sign. Like if you don't open at a nice premium to your IPO price, or God forbid you open below your IPO price, which happens, then that's generally not a good sign. Indicates lack of demand. So this was a stock that opened 12 cents above its IPO price. Not great.
I did want to point out that we actually had a rumor yesterday afternoon on NKTX right before 5 o'clock. So I just thought that was interesting. If you're not following the rumors category on the news feed, definitely do that, because you had that before the major move yesterday.
Because the rating was out yesterday, or there was
it was a rumor on Twitter that we posted, and then sure enough this morning it popped up.
Yeah, we've seen these before, Jonathan. Heads up, because we have told people about this. This is one of my favorite newsfeed categories, by the way. But this is a great example of how we heard that there's going to be a initiation, and then, as Jonathan said, the very next day there's an initiation, and NKTX moving up now. $75 price target. That's healthy. That's a healthy price target from where we're at. So we get any type of movement, this thing could be wild.
I got some news for you, Ryan. Some big news in your world.
Big news in my world. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Portillo's is going to go public.
I'm out of here. I mean that's awesome. I mean, I'm going to own some Portillo's. I mean, I already kind of feel like I'm part of an owner for Portillo's because I go there so much. But that is big. I have no idea that that's the case. You've blown my mind here live.
Yeah,
my mind's blown.
Targeting a $2.5 billion valuation, aiming to get to list by the end of the year. So it could be a few months, but
wow.
But look forward to that. Hey, Ryan's never going to read an S1 faster than the Portillo's S1. I think he's going to.
I'm gonna bring. Dude, I'm gonna bring a copy of the S1 into Portillo's and get a big beef, and I'm gonna read the thing right there. It's gonna be awesome.
What is Portillo's? It's just a.
Who said that?
Someone in
Who
chat.
said what is Portillo's? Oh,
someone in the. Not everyone's from your neck of the woods, man.
But it's Portillo's.
Brian is militant right now.
It's an Italian beef chain in. Is it fair to say it's in the Midwest, or I don't know?
I think it's peppered across the Midwest. It's
Okay.
burgers, Italian beef, Chicago style Italian beef, and hot dogs. And the hot dogs are the Chicago style hot dogs.
Okay. So Ryan's excited for that IPO.
I am. Well, I'm more excited about that than I was about Oatly. I hate to say it, but
yeah. No, Ryan loves Portillo's, I think, is the takeaway from this.
yeah, I do really like Portillo's.
Okay.
It's a hangout spot. I actually have one not far from my house too. Really nice. Back to stocks here, by the way, though. Zila and AEHR, the two stocks that I'm walking out at the open, they both hit the scanner.
Okay, there we go.
They both hit the scanner already, so we're gonna take a look and see.
Wait, real fast. Somebody asked how to find rumors in Benzinga Pro. Ryan, since you have your screen up, can you just walk through how to get rumors in Benzinga Pro?
Yeah, absolutely. So pretty much any news feed that you have, we're just gonna go ahead and plop one of the advanced news feeds right here. The rumors category is in I think it's news. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's a subcategory of news. So here's what I like to do. When I turn this on, I actually like to color this something like hot pink or something that's going to stand out in my news feed. This is just, and so here. So the reason that you do this is because let's go ahead and toss on some other categories. All right. So when I'm looking at a news feed like this, when I see a bright pink one flash, like my eye is just drawn to it. Now we don't have any. There we go. All right. So that's what I'm saying. It's so easy to pick out of a sea of other news if you color it. Jonathan and I go over this all the time. This is probably the category that I pay the most attention to when I see it flash across the screen. So.
All right. There's that. All right. 9:27. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the open.
Let's do it.
And so we're watching that. Let's just keep one eye on AMC as one is wont to do. It's quiet this morning.
What is AMC like? How are the apes doing today?
Well, they had a great day yesterday. Like we say all the time, nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. Good bounce yesterday. So the question of the day, or really of the week, of the month in AMC is: was yesterday a bounce? Or does the trend continue, the downward trend continue, right? It was up nicely in the after-hours session yesterday. I'm not sure if there's any reason for that. As far as upcoming movies, I know Space Jam is out today, but it's also on HBO, so I don't know how well it'll do at the box. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was out last weekend. Forget that. It was out last weekend. And that's the question on everyone's mind in AMC: was yesterday the bounce, or?
Well, so I can say pretty confidently that yesterday was absolutely a bounce. I mean, just simply looking at the chart, we can determine that. To your point, though, Spence, the question is, does this bounce continue, or do we retest this low and then break it? This actually looked like a decent support, right? We kind of gapped here and made this little bit of a floating island, but now we're kind of testing the top of that gap there. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I gave my opinion on this. This is not something that I would own.
I'm going to add some moving averages here just because sometimes I like to get a feel. In this stock, they're not going to be super helpful because the moving averages are.
Yeah.
But
I mean, stocks like this, you just this is almost, I try to tell, one of my big things is feel. I feel like the more experience you have, the more you develop a feel for certain stocks. Trading AMC, a stock like that, that's got to be feel. If you have a feel for that, you don't need any moving averages. You're going to be able to get in, get out. Whatever it is that you're going to do. That's that one's a tough one. Moving averages, they are what they are, but it's tough to follow on that.
Yeah, people in chat are mentioning AMC within the context of the IWM, but that's not a coincidence because AMC is the largest weighting in the IWM. It's like 0.5% of the IWM. So yes, now I got to get rid of these indexes, and I want to add I want to overlay AMC against IWM. The charts do look very similar. If you look at the last maybe not.
All right,
there's our opening bell. I mean, look, they both look weak, straight up. They both look weak, and that's not an accident, right? So, okay, market's open, scanner's live. I'm watching change from the open. Ryan's watching his two stocks. Mallory's watching his pro as well. And let's see what we see. Let me get some charts up here.
AEHR looked like it tried to pop right out of the gate there, a little heavier now. I'd like to see this come into what, 312, 314. So we're gonna see what happens here. Zila kind of moving around. Let me see.
Big mover so far is SGOC. Big gainer so far, really moving up 6% now.
Let's pull that. As you said, SGOC.
Yeah,
this was another one. This was oh my gosh. Oh yeah. This is another one. This thing is no stranger to just huge. Look at this. This is a little too volatile for my blood, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't see. That's the thing. Like one of the big things that I appreciate. If I don't have an edge, I just stay away. I try to only trade things that I've got an edge on. Sorry, flipping back and well, okay. So AEHR looks like it might try to take off here. Let me see. We want a bigger run than this 10 cents here, but yeah, see, really kind of holding in there. Didn't quite get down to our 314. Holding in there, really took out 324 is a bit of a battle there. Now that that's gone, looks like 335 is going to be your next spot here. So let's see if they take that on volume.
All right, and as I said that, SGOC reversed. That's what happens. Okay. Now he's your biggest loser of the morning so far. From the
bitter 330. Okay, they took that out. There's some really good volume on here. Okay, we're gonna take a stab here. Take a stab long here, and we're gonna hope for a cross above 335. I'm gonna keep a real tight stop on this because I kind of broke one of my rules. There we go. Seller wall at 335. If this pops, we're gonna be out here real quick.
Well, let's see. It just popped.
Hang out. So there you go. Little bit of a scalp there. Not bad. I'm actually going to set up for another one here because to me, I almost feel like we're going to have a bigger move here than this. We call that a plate liquor trade, right? There's not a whole lot there. It's green. Get some green on the screen. Get going early. Start feeling good. You got to feel like man on fire and all that, and then try to hit some of those bigger ones. So right now here on AEHR, we've got a little bit booked already. I'm going to wait for this to reset up. Potential if we can come back down to what's going on here. Oh, the weather. My bad. How do I get rid of this? There we go. What on earth am I doing, bro? Okay. My bad. So here we go. So this is, by the way, now you can see AEHR coming back in a little bit. This is why you take your profits quickly. If you think every stock is going to go to the moon, eventually you're going to get slapped around. So I'd like this to set back up here at 324 and then see if we can pop off that a little bit. I'd actually like to check in our chat. Let's see how our chat's doing with this because they were all over this. Looks like TCAT, another one here that people are trading. AMC looks one of saying it's ready to move. Oh well, it's ready to move in both directions.
Fubo's going this morning, right?
Fubo again? That's what we said.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
So what was the after hours high? $28, $28.40, right? $28.44 was your after hours high.
Yep. 28.44 is the high print here. That's going to be the level we take out. See, this is what I mean. Like even when the market opened, we kind of came back in and tested this 26.63 level that we put in the pre-market. Maybe not right to the penny. 26.69, nice. And now we're kind of moving. We're curling back up off that. And now, to me, right here, this trade right here is all about 28.44. All right, if 28.44 gets popped here and we can move, Fubo can move. Fubo can move big time. Will Sheehan says, literally never heard of Italian beef, and I spent 20 plus years in the I mean, Will, bro, you have got to go to Chicago. You've got to go to Chicago. I mean, Italian beefs are delicious, man. If you went to culinary school,
it's okay. Will, I'm from the East Coast. I never heard of it before I moved to the Midwest. So
yeah, but okay. So you're from the East Coast, Spencer. If someone came up to you and was like, "What's a cheesesteak?" You'd probably be like, "Who are you? What are you doing? Where have you been?"
Is this the equivalent? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, isn't it? Isn't the Philly cheesesteak like the big thing for Philly? Like, I'm pretty sure that Chicago style pizza and Italian beef is Chicago's thing. Maybe the hot dog too.
Okay.
Which Portillo's sells both. But anyway.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm going to check in on Zila as well. Let's see what we're doing there. Okay. There's this is not over for me. I like I said, we had a huge run up here. You can see that each time that this runs up, it pulls back in and then it takes off again. Let's see if we get one of these at these support areas. I'm not going to rush into this. I'm actually a little disappointed that I kind of jumped the gun on AEHR, even though it worked. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more disciplined here the rest of the day. Like to see this come back in a little bit more before bouncing, but maybe we don't get it. Maybe this is the reversal right here. 363 looks to be a battle going on here.
Let's take a look at the scanner, the 5-minute movers on the scanner.
Okay.
A couple of them just fell off here, but Oatly was popping. Now there's just 2 of them, but I wanted to point out that 5-minute movers preset there, right around the open, there were maybe 6 or 7 all that showed up at the same time there. But this is a really nice way just to find those stocks that are popping. You can see Fubo was on there, etc.
Yeah, that's a great call out, right? So we this is a scanner tool, right? You go to whenever you go to Workspace, you go to Scanner, there it is, right? And you just go on that preset and you click 5-minute movers, right? And so that's what I've got up here. So we got Astra, Oatly, and what's that? Sentinel One? Where's that? Yeah, that's the recent.
Oatly just broke $20. So yeah, interesting.
Huh? Oatly's getting a bounce here. Astra, which is your other space play. So if Astra's up, that would mean space must be going with it, or space. Oh no! Wow. See, we always look at peers playing together. At least on Monday, space was leading the sector. I don't know if you can't really call it the sector, but like space was leading its peers are Astra and like Maxar, right? A couple others, but this morning Astra going against trend against space, which was interesting. So also on the space trade, we talked about last weekend being a catalyst because there was the Virgin Galactic launch, but don't forget about Tuesday. Right, Bezos is going to space on Tuesday morning. We will be live streaming that, by the way, on this channel at 9:00 Eastern time. So maybe another space trade next week.
AMC might be bouncing here.
AMC might be bouncing here.
Caught it on my scanner.
Okay. I'm on a 15-minute chart. You're saying I'm not?
Yeah, I have 1 minute sticks on.
There we go.
So it looks like, it looks like it's trying here, and this is right in the area of yesterday's double top. If you kind of look to the left there a little bit, but no, we'll see. The scanner. So if you got my screen up, can you put my screen up real quick? So down here, this is that 5-minute movers that Jonathan was talking about. This is the preset that we used here for the 5-minute movers. I actually use one of the other scans. Here's the settings that I have on this. And basically, just so you know what you're looking at here, I'm looking at AMC is bouncing, by the way. All right, so we're gonna watch this and see if this happens. But real quickly, I just want to explain this scanner since we're taking a look at them. My scan right here is fairly simple. I'm looking for stocks that are liquid, right? At least 1 million shares. And this early in the morning, I mean, that's going to eliminate a lot of garbage. Then I'm looking for things that are kind of curling up over a recent basis, right? So up about 1/3% over the past 1 minute. And then I'm looking for 250,000 shares flowing in over the last rolling minute window. And so what's happening here is that it's pulling some of these. You can see some of the names. Here's AEHR again. Are we bouncing? Oh my God. Oh my gosh, we are. So look at that. So this is what we traded. We did the plate liquor trade for this. Looks like it's going to move a little bit more. I think you're probably on here. If we take a 354 snap, we might move more to the upside. Anyway, you can see Space, Zila. These are all the stocks that we were talking about. Our scanners was pulling them. Here you go. Here's another reversal here on Zila. Looks like we came in 355 and reversed. You said, was Space still selling off? Nope. Space reversed too. Here you go, Spence.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Sundial. This didn't I feel like the wheat stocks got destroyed recently.
Still the news event on Wednesday with
okay.
of the bill. So Yeah.
Tower's down still a little bit. Okay. I like seeing this, man. I like seeing the two stocks that I was watching are the only two on my scanner right now. That's a good 30 seconds right there.
I'm in the process of creating a new watch list right now. So give me 1 second while I do that. Someone in chat, happy asked the difference between the newsfeed and the advanced newsfeed. Can one of you guys speak to that?
Absolutely. Jonathan, you want to do that? You want me to do that? Jonathan is muted.
You're on mute, bro.
Bruh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's the same content. The big deal with the advanced newsfeed is the screener filter on the newsfeed. So using that, you can say, just show me news on stocks from $2 to $10 or with a certain volume or market cap. So who's sharing their screen right now? Spencer?
That's right.
All right. So Ryan, if you want to open up the two news feeds, we can just show those filters there. I mean, you'll see it's basically the same, but one has the screener filter. And so you just click into there. You have a whole bunch of different filters available. So you can really hone in on stocks that you actually care about and filter out all that noise. So we're super excited about it.
The other thing is you're going to see more and more stuff come in here. There's going to be more and more variables that you're going to be able to filter your news feed by, and that's really exciting. One of the other things that you'll notice here is we've got some quick ads, right? So if like price is the big thing that you're filtering for, got some shortcuts right up here as well. And the other thing that's cool is that when you turn them on, it highlights it, so it lets you know which one is turned on. Very much like the gold number that we have next to the screener here. So the advanced newsfeed is really, really awesome. We've been waiting for this for a long time. It's a sweet tool. It's a sweet tool. Same as Jonathan said, same content, just more granularity for filtering.
All right, I want to bring up my screen. I mean to do this for a while, so it's made a new watch list of just every sector ETF and the major indices and the largest stocks that make up said indices, or at least the largest tech stocks here, just to give us an overall view of what is happening out there, because we can get so locked in on one or two stocks. You never want to lose sight of what the overall market is doing. So today, for example, you're seeing materials lag. Tech is big tech is lagging a little bit this morning. Energy lagging a little bit as well. So always want to have a feel for what the overall market is doing. Nothing happens in a vacuum, except maybe AMC. But even now, AMC is
Zilo's gone, by the way.
Zilo's gone. AMC's movement even now is you have to look at it within the framework of the overall market. And so I always like to do that. So having each of the major sector ETFs, all the major indexes up on the screen, I think is super, super important throughout the day. Yeah, utilities are strong here today so far. XLU is strong. Good point. Good call out, Mitch.
Good call out also by Wary Trader in our chat here. He's saying Zila might bounce at around 345 for 50 cents. So if we look in on that, we bounced from 355. You were only 10 cents off there, and we absolutely went near 50 cents. We're up, 40 cents right now? So great call, Wary. I hope that you nailed that. Sweet. Our pass looks like you're trading Zila too. Sweet. Hope you guys nailed this. This was a good one. Nice expanding volume there too. The other thing about this is that the last time that this went crazy, there were multiple opportunities throughout the course of the day. So if we stop right here, if we meet some resistance here at 4, remember that, mark that off. And if we come back towards 4, understand that if we snap that, there might be another trade in the works here. So Wary, he did hit it. Nice job. Congratulations, man. We're making money this morning, Spencer. I love it.
Wait, Jake is saying, come on, Jake. Price is the only thing that matters. Price is the arbiter. Price is truth, right? Price is all that matters. That's not AMC. That's everything. That's every stock. Price is all that matters, right? I didn't hear any people. I didn't hear AMC bulls, saying, when AMC I don't even remember what the high was. How high did it get? AMC got to let's get rid of this stupid chart.
70?
Yeah, I didn't hear people saying the 70s. Oh, price doesn't matter at AMC. Like the bulls. No, of course you care about the price. You always care about the price. Price is truth. Even if the market isn't always efficient, which it's not. To say the market is always efficient, I think is probably wrong. And And I'm not saying that everything is priced in all the time, but price is the truth for right now, for the moment. It doesn't say that, not to say it can't change, but come on, price does matter.
And Jake went on to say it's all manipulated. Don't watch price, wait for shorts to cover. So the way I would respond to that is, so if you're waiting for the shorts to cover, what's happening when the shorts are covering? The price is going up, right? So the price does matter.
The price matters. Price is all that matters.
So in a squeeze play, Jake, I agree with you. This is absolutely a squeeze play. I think you're dead on there. But in a squeeze play, you're hoping for the price to go up. So to on the other side say that the price doesn't matter, I'm not sure. You make and lose your money based on the price. Hector, you hit it right on the head. You hit it right on the head as usual. By the way, if you guys need any help, Hector can help you with your expanded Fourier series and any other type of advanced math and calculus that you need. Real smart dude over here.
Okay. Moving right along here.
GME coming up on the 5 minute.
Oh, let's look at this. Let's look at
GameStop. We're bouncing. We're bouncing, folks.
Why are my charts messed up? That's good. There we go. It's a little better. Nice bounce. I frankly, AMC and GameStop look identical this morning. Do they not? They do.
Yeah, they do. They look really, really similar.
Okay, so the relationship is strong. And you know what? This is what Dennis was talking about this morning. For whatever reason, we don't know why. We don't care why. There was an inverse correlation between tech, the mega cap tech stocks, and the AMC GameStops of the world, right? You look, Amazon down, Apple down. You want to go, oh, actually, Apple's in the green, but look at the overall Qs, which are down from the open, like maybe in the green from the close, but down from the open, right? And at the same time, while you got big tech down, like Facebook, right? Down, Google down. Actually, Google's up. I take that back. But AMC and GameStop are trying to bounce here. There is this weird inverse correlation happening right now. Very interesting.
Space pulling. That is interesting. I'm not sure that I would trade off that, Spencer, to be quite honest. I'm not sure if I would trade off that correlation, but that is interesting to watch.
Dennis trades it all the time.
Well, Dennis is a G, man. I can't trade like Dennis.
Wait, Sanjeev's asking about Shake Shack, which is not a chart I look at too often. So let's go to a daily because I don't have a great feel for what's going on in Shake Shack. Oh, man. This is one of those. Let me go to a bigger one. For whatever reason, there are like 3 or 4 restaurant stocks that are just so expensive from a valuation standpoint. And let's go to a weekly even. Shake Shack was one of them, right? It's like Shake Shack, Chipotle, Domino's, for whatever reason, are just perennially so expensive just on a valuation standpoint. And I never understood why.
I'll give you the fire that's moving with Shaq right now. Remember, we actually talked about this last week. We said, what if BFI could get moving because of the recent move you saw in Shake Shack?
BurgerFi International, good week.
Boom, baby.
Good week for BFI.
Go get them burgers.
Long burgers, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, can you be Bearish Burgers?
No, you can't.
You can't
be Bearish
Come
burgers.
On. Ryan will fight you if you are Bearish.
No, there's no fighting. We are lovers here, Spencer. We are not fighting people.
All right. If you are Bearish Burgers, Ryan will find you.
If we are Burger Brothers.
If you are Bearish Portillo's, if you're short Portillo's, Ryan will come and he will find you, and then he will force you to cover.
I think we have to ask Ryan, what's your favorite burger place?
Favorite burger place. Okay. Shout out to the Landmark Inn in Northbrook, Illinois. That is my favorite burger place. They have some of the most fantastic burgers you have ever had. Mitch, when you come out to Chicago, I will take you to this place. We will go.
Hey, it's on the clock. We'll get it there.
Wait, Ryan, did I tell you I was supposed to be in Chicago in September, but it's not going to happen now. But I'm supposed to have a wedding at some point in the next, I don't know, at some to be determined date in Chicago. So when that happens, I will
drop me a line.
Drop you a line.
So somewhere we were looking at Shake Shack. We're talking about burgers. Somewhere downtown Josh Brown is fist pumping because we are doing exactly what he likes. We are talking about Shake Shack. We are talking about burgers. Let's hit it. And we're also talking about making money.
I'm watching SGAC. It was for a hot second there your biggest mover of the day. Now it is your biggest loser of the day, down 14%. This is a high flyer, no fundamental information. Throw out the fundies. This is a trading instrument, and it is trading down.
Absolutely.
Gotta be quick. You gotta be quick. It topped out like at 9:31. You gotta be fast.
Zila, folks. This might be the trader all day. This might be the trader all day. Looks like we got another high here at 405. I actually wasn't watching the L2 when this took place, so I'm not sure the size of the seller there, or if it's a refresh seller. We'll see. But this is looking good. This is looking good. Interesting. So your pivot point, your person's pivot point, is actually at 406. On this name, so that's not a surprise at all. I think if we break above that's 405, 406, I think we keep going here on Zila. I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna take another stab at this if we can get this rolling here. Big seller there at 390, and it looks like they're bidding right under it. So as long as those bids stay, as long as this volume stays in here, we're gonna have more than one opportunity today, for sure, in this name.
I'm looking at Home Depot yesterday and today. Yeah, HD. Looking at the daily chart, it looks like we're at some interesting levels here. So we'll see how this holds up.
What interests you about this? I'm just curious.
We'll just look back at when is that? It's April,
mid-May. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm looking at the high in April. Like April 16th.
Okay. Yep. That high was 328.
So if it breaks through that, then we're looking.
We got a same. Yeah. Wait. What was that? I'm sorry. The high. Yeah, 328. That was your high, and then same high actually from a month later, on May 12th. We got like a 3 or 4 highs there.
Yeah, this is actually if we keep pushing here, this is great, right? Because we're kind of invalidating some of this left-hand side. I think if we push above that high that Jonathan's talking about, I think that you got a trade plan right here, right? Your next stop, you're going to be 345, or that's going to be the next test anyway. We'll see if it actually goes there.
All right, I'm going back to Ryan's scanner. And just keep an eye on things.
Yep. Nope. That's kind of what I'm doing. That's the thing with trading, right? Being patient. I like to call it patience with a Y, right? Patience. PAY. Patience.
You're clever.
Waiting for the trade to come to me is one of the ways that I'm going to not kind of just over trade or piss my money away, for lack of a better term. Zila pull here, pretty big pull here. So this is one way. It looks like Wish popped up on the scanner. This thing. Oh man. Wish little rough. Wish. We'll see if this keeps going back up. Newegg hitting the 5-minute preset scanner. This thing was a monster too recently. We're getting some action here.
Moderna was on there a minute ago.
Yep.
Yeah. This is I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical now. I should have pressed the guys about this earlier, but because. You look at a daily of Moderna and you're like, this thing is just an absolute monster. It's never going to stop going up. But then you find out why, right? They're being added to the S&P 500, which is a big deal. It is because that's one of the I think the top index as far as assets that are pegged to it. So there's going to be a lot of forced buying into I think Tuesday, right? Tuesday is the inclusion date. On Moderna, let me check here. It's Wednesday is the inclusion date, so that means into Tuesday's close. There's a lot of forced buying. These can be topping events. These things can be topping events. So I was bullish yesterday, and now that I know that there's an S&P inclusion on Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, I'm less excited now. I'll say that. So I'm like hands off for me until like at least Wednesday, Thursday, because I just want to see how it acts at post inclusion. That's where I'm at on Moderna.
I'm staying away from those stocks. I feel like there's just easier to play. There are there are opportunities that are going to be easier to play than some of the vaccine stocks. I think that trade is for me anyway. That trade is done. Moderna was nice though. I mean, what 18 to 270? You could do worse than that.
Yeah.
I'll never get over it. I'll never stop telling I had a crazy guy come after me because I was like, oh yeah, Moderna, this looks decent at 18. And a couple of people were trading it, and then when that thing went to 100, it was like, hey, where's the guy at? Where are you at?
Wait, I didn't follow. So I didn't follow that. So somebody questioned.
So we had a webinar with one of our guests. It was I think it was me and Andy, Mighty Soldiers Trades. You may know him. And we were talking about Moderna, and we were like, yeah, this thing has some momentum. The vaccine talk, like this thing could really move, and the stock was $18. I had this guy just assault my LinkedIn, email Jason, tell me I'm going to be fired. I'm going to be in a bread line.
Wait, why? For what?
Unbelievable, dude. I mean, it's just you couldn't even make this up. Like, and then at one point, Jason tried to take it over, and he started going at Jason. And I'm like, just ignore this. And then the next time I looked, I was like, Moderna's at 100. Dude told me it was a bad buy at 18. Okay.
People are weird. And Paul, Paul's noting that Moderna has earnings on. I don't know if that earnings date's confirmed for August 3rd. It very well might be. And there was a nice article. I think it was in Bloomberg about Moderna and how all the other viruses they're now looking at, they tackled COVID. Now they're targeting Zika and HIV and same technology in the vaccine, right? So anyway, my point still stands. Hands off until at least Thursday. Want to see how the stock behaves after posting S&P inclusion. So that's where I'm at on Moderna. I want to mention this also. Ryan and Mallard are going to hang on for a few more minutes, and then they're going to hop. And I'm going to bring on my next guest is the CEO of WNS Holdings, ticker WNS, Keshav Murugesh, and he will talk to me about their earnings report, which was yesterday, and we'll talk about the business there. And I have some questions for Keshav about coming back, office work, the future of work, because their business is heavily is in that sector, and so I'm very interested to learn his insights on how work from home versus the hybrid versus fully going back to the office will affect a company like his. So that'll be in a few minutes here. But let's get Ryan and Mallard for a couple more and see what we can see.
It's a Friday, bro. Look at those scanners.
Ryan, but it's an options expiration Friday too. So don't lose sight of that. There will be some vol at the close for sure. Due to that, but yeah, it's summer Friday. Half of Wall Street, if they were in the office, would be on the Long Island Railroad heading east to the Hamptons at 4:05. But options can always add some action. So don't forget about it. What happens.
The day is young.
Yep. I like to also pop over to the news feed just in case news comes out and I miss it.
This is one of my favorite news feeds to check in.
What is that?
This is a news feed on the left here that has WIMs, so reasons why stocks are moving, which is really helpful. And then on the right here, we have all of our exclusives tags. So market moving exclusives, hot and exclusives. And then this, of course, is going to be great for the interview that you're about to have. We'll be able to see any of the information that comes out of here right through the news feed.
Boom.
This one I definitely like to check out quite a bit. But we'll see how it's going. Let's see what's Fubo doing. Fubo looks like it came in a little bit. Interesting.
Talking about Nvidia in the chat, leaking again. I'm a little bit surprised to see. Let me pull up a chart. I'm a little bit surprised to see Nvidia show this much weakness when the split is still a couple of days away.
But look at the run it just had.
I know, but we're still 2 days away from the split.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that I've been saying about Nvidia is I think after the split, it's going to come in a little bit. It's going to pull what Apple did. It's going to come in a little bit as people kind of trim their positions since they have more stock now.
Right, but typically
you might get that reversal.
Typically, you see a stock like top out like the day before or even the day of the split. The split's not till Tuesday. So In any case, it's a huge run up. I'm not going to fight you.
No. Yeah, no. I'm not worried here yet. I'm not worried here. I to your point about leaking, I think maybe this is just a corrective move off that big impulse move we've had here in June and July.
Okay. Are there any earnings plays you guys are excited for next week? We got the first real big week of earnings. We've got Netflix on Tuesday, IBM on Monday.
Guys. AEHR. Sorry, Spence. AEHR. Okay. We bounced off 324 big. Bounced off big. So this is what we're talking about with the earnings, right? Stocks that have earnings news like this tend to have legs going the rest of the day. I mean, look at this. This was the trade, right? That little scalp that I had earlier is cool and all, but the trade here is 324 and still in this. I mean, this is a monster right now. I hope some of you guys caught this. Saul, looks like you're typing out. Hopefully you caught that, my man.
Kristen V is watching airline earnings. Let me check the calendar. I don't actually know when the airlines are.
Didn't Delta just report?
Delta's always early, but take a look at American. American is Thursday morning. United is not on the. Yeah, United is Tuesday afternoon, and the other big one is LUV. LUV is Thursday morning as well. So yeah, we got some airlines to talk about next week. It's going to be a great week for earnings, guys. One of the next 2 weeks are the heart of the Q2 earnings season.
The print that I'm really waiting for is Apple. So
that's not for 2 weeks. That's
27th.
The 27th. Yeah.
27th.
Yeah. All right, Ryan Faloona and Jonathan Mallard have been hanging out with us on the stream for the last hour or so, and they join us every Friday to basically do what we were just doing, which is just hang out and talk about some trades and
look for setups, try to hit them,
shoot the breeze, and yeah, it's
prepare for the day. What are you doing this weekend, Spence?
What am I doing this weekend? I don't know. That's too far. It's too far away for me to know.
It's like 8 hours away. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to Mallard's house tonight. That's what I'm doing.
All right, party at Mallard's house.
It'll be a good time for some steaks. I'm picking up one of those $20 flamethrowers. Someone said in the chat you could get a $20 flamethrower. Although you don't want that to go wrong, right? So, anyways.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I just noticed that bank stocks are getting punished. So banks are super weak today. I mean, they were weak all day, but they're making new lows on the day here. Look at where's
they're pounding the lows. Goldman Sachs.
They're pounding the banks right here. JP Morgan, Bank of America, right? Look at the XLF. Banks making new lows.
Wow.
Yep.
Good spot, Spence.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you
Friday. Have a great one. Looking forward to your interview. That should be a good one.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan Faloona, a.k.a. Long Portillo's, and Jonathan Mallard, a.k.a. Jonathan Mallard. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. All right. My next guest, I mentioned a few minutes ago, is the CEO of WNS Holdings. Let's bring up Holdings so we can take a look. I mentioned they had earnings the other day. Keshav Murugesh is the CEO, and joining me now on pre-market prep. Keshav, good morning, or wherever you are, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Spencer. Great to be here. And it's evening for me in Mumbai.
All right, great. Good evening for you in Mumbai. Good morning here on the East Coast of the U.S. So WNS Holdings, first, let's start overall. Explain the business, and then I have some questions about returning to work for you.
Sure. So, WNS Global is actually a company in the business transformation area. So what we do is we leverage great people, great technology, unique business practices, and we actually take charge of our clients' back office as well as middle offices and provide operational support to clients across the globe. We operate from 13 countries, 61 development centers, and as of yesterday, we had close to 47,000 people operating across the globe. Just a little bit of history. This company originally came out of British Airways many years ago, but today our biggest vertical is insurance, followed by travel, and then we provide services across 5 or 6 other areas, including healthcare. So, we've been in the space for close to 25 years. And I must say, we think that we are the leader of the industry, delivering the highest revenue growth, margin growth, as well as very, very strong cash flows for our shareholders.
So I mentioned the earnings report. You reported the other day revenue 252 million, up about 22% from last year. I'm more interested though in the 2019 comps, because last year was, as we know, was a huge anomaly. So how do those numbers stack up to 2019?
Yeah, so I'll tell you. So the key is, with COVID in 2020, obviously we saw an impact. But when we went into the year, Spencer, we assumed, because clients could not actually provide any guidance in terms of what their volumes were going to be, that the overall revenue decline would be significant. But guess what? Based on the way WNS operated, the way we quickly pivoted our business model to one that was essentially from office to one where predominantly we work from home, and the way we came back in terms of co-creating solutions for our clients, we actually ended the year with just about 3% decline in terms of revenues compared to 2019. Now, from there, if you look at where we are, as of first quarter, we're actually up 21% in terms of revenues, or 22%. Profits are up close to 80%. Most importantly, operating margins are back at 20.8%. As I mentioned, we are the industry leader. Solid cash flow, strong balance sheet, and things are coming back extremely well for us.
So when do you expect to be back to those pre-pandemic levels?
Well, we already are back at those levels, Spencer. Like I mentioned, last year was just a 3% constant currency kind of reduction.
Yeah.
This year, we have guided yesterday to 11% growth at the midpoint of our guidance. So we are back to growth. There's a lot of excitement. As far as the sector is concerned, WNS is performing very well, and our sales pipeline has never been as healthy as it is today.
So we talk about like businesses coming or offices coming back online and workers returning to the office. How does that trend or lack thereof impact your business? Whether it's everybody coming back in 5 days a week or hybrid, or people staying remote full time. Regardless, how does each of those avenues impact a company like yours?
Great. So let's look first from the point of view of our clients.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, most of them have had shrinking volumes in the last year, and we're now seeing the US start to come back extremely well. We're seeing parts of Europe start to come back very well. But most importantly, I think every sector and every client in those sectors are actually looking at transforming their business models such that, as opposed to having physical contact kind of models, they're looking much more to leverage great people, technology, transformative kind of solutions, and the ability to get things done on an iPad or a phone or whatever. So touchless models is becoming the new norm. Whether you look at the insurance business, where self-service portals have now taken off in a big way. You look at banking, it's all about digital models and payment models. You look at the airline business, I mean, it's all technology-led, with OTAs now driving the future of that business. So every model, including the most traditional models, are being transformed by the need for clients to automate, to digitally transform themselves, and to have partners that work with them who understand their business extremely well. And that's where WNS comes in. So from our point of view, when the pandemic broke out, obviously we moved, the bulk of our people to their homes and, continued operating. But most importantly, we co-created solutions in such a way that clients were extremely comfortable. Remember, we handle, very, very sensitive data, and therefore having very strong cyber security kind of solutions in a remote environment is critical. And fast forward a year, and we've actually created so much of comfort in the minds of our clients that today we are talking about a potential distributed, workforce model, where first and foremost, WNS is the first to have spoken about a hub, spoke, and an edge model. So we're actually saying that while today hardly 15% of our global workforce actually operates from the office, we actually expect that the hub will be the office, the spoke will be connecting centers that we will create in between so that employees can interact with each other when they're not at home and they want to visit an office. And the edge is the work from home kind of model that I keep speaking about. And I think this kind of model, along with the changes we are making with the help of progressive governments across the globe, who are now relaxing rules such that telecom solutions are available to us, such that other kind of relaxations are available so that people can work from home, as well as the fact that we have dramatically transformed and changed our HR philosophies, our comp and benefits strategies, such that people can really work from home and stay integrated into this business. I can tell you that clients love it, at this point in time. But from a longer term point of view, for WNS, we would like to have more of our people, as things normalize, come back to the office, because we believe that that's what helps drive our culture. Most importantly, I think those coffee table talks and those water cooler talks actually helped to drive innovation. So we're looking to see when things normalize, and we would like to have more of our people back in the office ultimately.
You have clients on every major continent across most of the major industries. I'm curious, based on what you've seen from your clients, which economies, which markets have come online quicker than others, or slower, or the other side of that coin, lagging the rest of the pack?
Well, great question, Spencer. I mean, it's the US that has come back. North America has come back the fastest. I mean, and I think it's all a function of the pace with which vaccinations, were deployed. And in fact, I think that's given a lot of confidence. You can see travel, for example, has shot through the roof. At this point in time, we are scrambling to get people in place to meet the renewed demand, because we actually think, we've coined a new phrase here, we call it revenge tourism. We're actually seeing people in the US and in fact parts of Europe who've been locked up at home for the last year or so want to get out and get holidays in. So, airplanes are packed, hotel rooms are packed, hotel and rates are through the roof. And so, as I mentioned earlier, it's the US that has come back the fastest, and it's coming across all sectors. We're seeing it, very, very well in the travel side as well. But every sector is actually moving. We're seeing it in Europe, and over a period of time, as vaccinations get deployed well across other countries as well, we would expect a slow return to normalcy there as well.
So, what industries have lagged?
Okay, from a lag point of view, I would say that it's probably travel, because now while travel in certain sectors have come back, the reality of life is even for us, though we are seeing lots of new volume coming in, as of last quarter and results we declared yesterday, we are still 25% below the peak that we saw pre-COVID, which means we need to have more of the intercontinental travel take off. That's not happening yet. We need to have the health passports being agreed to between countries. We need to have the cruise ships starting to sail again, and we need to have clients from across the globe now post-vaccination have the comfort and the confidence to travel and start spending their money in this area. So I would say that that's the one vertical that still has a lot of hope, for us as of now. I would also say that the insurance vertical at this point in time is still slow in terms of picking up. But what I'm seeing is all of them are moving to digital first models as opposed to the traditional model where you met with an insurance agent or whatever. It's all about self-service portals. It's all about cloud-based portals. And I think there is a transformation taking place in that business, which is going to very positively impact clients across the globe over a period of time.
Do you have an estimate for when you expect those laggards, whether it's the airlines or insurance, to be back to where they were? The CEO of Delta Airlines said he expected 95% return to pre-COVID business travel by the end of the year, which seems high. But I'm curious where you are on that as far as when you expect these industries that have been slower to come back to finally get back.
Look, Spencer, I think what I can tell you is from our point of view, we are preparing well. So we are hiring people. Like I mentioned, we hired 3,000 new people in last quarter alone globally. And we are training these people. We are getting ready. We are investing in sales and marketing. We're investing in the whole, digital transformation space. We are enabling our clients in terms of very innovative new models that they can engage with us. But the reality of life is we're also dealing with a pandemic of a scale that the world has actually never seen before. So I'm delighted to see that some of the CEOs of the large airlines are so bullish. And if they are, and if it comes back, I can tell you that our guidance will be busted easily.
All right. Keshav Murugesh is the CEO of WNS Holdings, ticker WNS. There it is. Oh, there it is up on the screen. Keshav, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good rest of your day and have a good weekend.
Thank you, Spence.
All right. We'll get Keshav back. The companies like WNS, right, are like I see as like bellwethers for like they're good indicators, right, for overall economic activity, right? So in the same way that a company like FedEx is, right, because they have their hand in so many baskets, right? They're doing so many things on different continents in different industries. A company like that can tell us a lot in terms of general business activity. So it was great to have Keshav on, and I thank him for joining us here on Pre-Market Prep, although it's not really Pre-Market Prep anymore because we've been open now for almost an hour. But anyway, I'm going to hang out with you all for the next few minutes. And yeah, it's Friday, guys. Let's just hang out. Let's just hang out. Right? We got SPACs Attack at 11 o'clock, as we always do. Let's zoom in. Let's go back to my scanner. Okay. And let's get SPY up here. We got SPACs Attack coming up next at 11 o'clock. We've got the Power Hour at noon. No Jason or Luke today on the Power Hour. So you're going to be stuck with myself and Aaron Bree. But we got Get Technical at 1 o'clock. Moon or Bust. Oh, guys, the Moon or Bust guys are crushing it right now. Okay. They got a really, I don't want to spoil it, but they got a really great guest. Not for well, they got a guest today, but they got a unusually big guest for Monday's show that I'll let them tell you about. But that'll be at 2 o'clock Eastern time today, Moon or Bust. Zinger Stock Trivia. If you missed trivia yesterday, you missed some movie trivia. It was fun. We gave away a Dogecoin hat. We're giving away more stuff today, 3 o'clock Eastern time on this channel. The At the Close show, Joel is back with me to wrap up the week at 3:30. We got Money Mitch at 4 o'clock. We got Technically Options with Brad Weber at 5 o'clock. And that's the story of the day here on Benzinga. So, what are you all watching? Wait, where is Raz? Raz is in Chicago. Christopher Anthony Forsman. Raz and Luke are in Chicago getting that money. Right? Bringing home the bacon. That's what they're doing. So, Raz and Luke are not here today. What was I? Wait, Charlie Tango, Christopher Anthony Forsman. If anyone is any person they want to see on this channel, your best bet is to email us. Okay, you ready? I'm gonna put the email on the screen. Email that account, shows@benzinga.com. Do that and say, hey, you guys should get on this person. You guys should get this person on. You guys should get that person on. We do our best to reach out to these people that you all want to see. So there's your email. Oh, Charles Gross? That is a great idea, Chris. I would love to get Benzinga. He's actually out of town today, but I would love to get Benzinga Charlie on the stream. I don't know if he'll ever do it. But Charlie's our squawker. If you haven't heard our squawk, guys, here's what we'll do. On a normal day, he'd be squawking, but he's got the week off. So I'm going to turn on the squawk, and you can hear our other squawkers today. I think Brent is doing some squawking. So let's turn the squawk on. There it is. And next time we get a headline, we should be able to hear it. Bruin Anteater. I don't know who that is. Shoot us an email, Hector. Bruin Anteater. No, Christopher. I mean, Raz is on when he doesn't. Raz comes on when he doesn't have important meetings. I mean, he's the CEO of the company. He's a busy guy, right? He can't always come on. That's just the nature of the beast. All right, I'm watching my movers tool. Let's change this preset. Let's go back to overall gainers. And let's go back to sort from the open. That's what I like looking at. Let's move this column way over. Okay, what are we watching here? What are we watching? Newegg? Wow, look at Newegg today. Oh, man. Nothing goes straight down, right? You had a nice... Well, let's go to a 1 minute chart.
The U.S. Treasury
there we go.
has issued Hong Kong-related sanctions. Yesterday, there was a Reuters report that the U.S. will sanction Chinese officials and warn companies related to Hong Kong. So this isn't a surprise, but it looks like details here this morning. Treasury website showing that the Biden administration has issued business advisory highlighting growing risks related to China's actions in Hong Kong. Those headlines, according to Reuters.
Geopolitical posturing, right? Nothing new there as far as U.S.-China tensions. Go look at FXI. Giving back some of those gains from a couple days ago or yesterday. Look at BABA. Is anyone here? I'm just curious if y'all are bullish on any of these because I'm not. I'm out. I want no part of any of this stuff. Any of these Chinese companies. I don't care if it's Alibaba. I don't care if it's Wish. I want no part of this. But I'm curious in chat if you're into these. Wish also. Someone mentioned this earlier. Wish is like super low quality products, right? It's all from China. It's a U.S. company, but it's all from China. All their products. So, love the squawk. Yeah, Richard. It's definitely our most loved feature, I think, of Benzinga Pro. And I think it always has been, frankly. Squawk is
new lows in stocks. S&P 500 futures breaking below the 43.45 level and some downside intensifying here, down another 3 or 4 points over just last minute. 43.42 last trade, and S&P 500 futures were down 0.2% for the session, but down about 35 points from the high set just after the open.
We're leaking. Leaking is a strong word. Actually, I don't think leaking accurately describes because we are we're down for the day, so I wouldn't quite say leaking. I say leaking when we're like up but giving back gains. We are in the red for the day. You look at
Pop culture ticker CPOP shares rebounding off of the 925 level, up about 40 cents here. The stock now up about 2.2% for the session, last trading at 963. Charlie Papa Oscar Papa.
Most of our stocks are in the red. Utilities. Defensive. Whoa, that was weird. Defensive. What else is looking good today? How's real estate? Real estate's doing okay. All right. Yeah, AJ, I took back my leaking statement. Okay. Happy? Yeah, look at this. All right. I'd be inclined to buy the dip in some of these tech in tech, right? Every dip is a dip to buy in tech, is it not? Maybe Nvidia, because we have that stock split next week. But look at Shopify, Apple. Isn't Neo China?
S&P 500 futures now below the 43.40 level, 43.38 and a half. The new session low down 1/3% today.
Man. You know, you can tell it's one of those days because you look at like here, let's move this. You look at just like the quantity of the move, the value of the move, not the quantity, the absolute value of the move on like the up filter and the down filter, and you see like all your leaders are up 2%, 3%, and all your losers are down 9%, 10%, 7%. So just from an absolute value standpoint, right? Sort of a tell right there. But good morning, Les Ram. Hey, how is my GBNY doing from this morning? Nothing. No volume. Forget it. Thought this was like the next card. Oh. By the way, if any of y'all, in addition to feedback on guests you want to see or interviews you want us to have or companies you want us to talk to, whatever, if you are interested in potentially having your own little stream on our channel here, drop us a line. Shows at Benzinga. For real. We're always looking. Shows at Benzinga.com. You have a trading style you want to share with the world. You have a system that works for you. You want to just come and BS about stocks. That's cool too. Usually, as long as you do it with within reason.
Stocks getting a little rebound here. S&P 500 futures rebounding off a session low 43.36 and a half. Now back over the 43.40 level.
Yeah, it's a defensive day, Sue, or Sunday. Excuse me. It's a defensive day, right? Utilities, staples. You're looking at Clorox. Good. Zoom out on that Clorox chart. That looks interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens on risk off days, right? Today's certainly a risk off kind of day. How's the Russell doing? This is the one chart I sort of keep going back to. It's holding for the moment, but man, does this not look good? I guess as long as it holds that double bottom, but I don't know, man. I don't know, guys. Like, I want to be bull. I am long-term bullish. You guys know that. But you can't argue with the fact that breadth is piss poor right now, right? Like
Momentive Global MNTV seeing a black trade in the issue, just over 500,000 shares at 20.35 per share. The stock rebounding from a near session low, following that black trade. Shares now up 0.5% for the session. Mike November Tango Victor.
You can't ignore the fact that breadth is horrible, right? Even if all you look at is the Qs or the SPY, you think, oh, we're just off all-time highs. Things are great, right? Things are amazing. Look how far we've come. This is not the true measure of where a lot of people are on the market, right? Yeah, there are a lot of straight up indexers out there. But if you're in anything else that's not big tech, you're not doing so hot necessarily. So it's hard to argue with that. And for that reason, it's hard to be super bullish. Right? Like what would happen? Seriously, what would happen if we do get, like, we just came off this period of long consolidation in big tech, and the market went up anyway, even though tech didn't do anything. Right? You look at Apple for 6 to 8 months, you look at Amazon AMZN, right? Did nothing. Nothing for like 8 months, right? Google broke out and Facebook broke out, right? But Apple, Amazon, Microsoft didn't. Well, recently they did, but like for 6 months they didn't. What would happen if these things actually do have a prolonged period of not sideways action, but like downward action, right? It hasn't happened since the fourth quarter of 2018, right? When tech was it 2018 or 2019? I think it was 18. Maybe it was 19. No, I'm pretty sure it was 18. Right when we had that tech sell off, that tech sell off. No, yeah, it was 18. That we had that tech sell off for basically no reason. Right, tech just sold off hard, and it
China SXT Pharmaceuticals SXTC shares nearing a session high. The stock up 42%. Sandy X-Ray Tango Charlie. This is a low float name with about 13 million shares and its float. Not seeing any news on the issue today, but the stock is getting a ton of social media interest. Sandy X-Ray Tango Charlie.
Sandy X-Ray Tango Charlie. Someone just dropped this in the chat, right? Yeah, Sunday did. All right. What's going on here? Whoa. All right. Yeah. All right. High flyer of the day. There's always a dozen. What's the float? Like 10 million? I was pretty close. I said 10. It's 13. Anyway. When in doubt, assume low float. I'm interested in some of these comments here. Hold on. You would need healthcare and banks with incredible force. Exactly, Christopher. That's exactly what I'm saying, right? You would need every other sector to hold up. And the banks, how's the TLT doing? I mean, right. Didn't the 10-year reach like a what is it, like a 6-month high? Right? Yesterday? 10-year reached a 6-month high. Interesting that the how's the TLT doing, right? We always gotta look at the banks as relates to the TLT.
Moderna MRNA shares marking a new session high just a minute ago here at 288.88, up more than 10.5%. Mike Romeo November Alpha.
Going into the S&P, that'll do it every time. Every time. Go back to my scanner. Yeah, I'll answer that question, Andy, and we'll talk about TLT in a second. All right, so here's what I wanted to look at before I go back to the TLT is every day I look at the I've talked about this before, right?
A list of the top 5 mentioned stocks on Reddit's Wall Street Bets. This data via Swag Stocks Context Logic, the most mentioned name on Wall Street Bets. That's ticker WISH. Nvidia is number 2, NVDA. SoFi is number 3, SOFI. Virgin Galactic, SPCE, is number 4. And Clover Health Investments, ticker CLOV, is the number 5 most mentioned stock on Wall Street Bets.
I like to look at swaggy stocks, which Brent just mentioned, and I also like to look at Quiver Quant every day as like the most mentioned stocks. On in this case, it's Wall Street Bets, but I use it as a proxy for like social media sentiment, right? So Twitter, StockTwits, Reddit, right? And on swaggy stocks, as Brent just said, Wish, Nvidia, SoFi, Space, Clover are your top.
Clen ticker CLNN shares falling below the 950 level here and marking a new session low, down more than 6%. That's Charlie Lima, November.
But on Quiver Quant, you look at the last 24 hours, and it's SPY, AMC, GameStop, Clover, and Apple. There's a number of mentions. So I always like to keep an eye on those things.
AMC Entertainment ticker AMC shares have rebounded from a session low below $36 over the last 20 minutes and now testing the $38 level as some resistance. Shares are up more than 5% in AMC at $38. Alpha Mike Charlie.
Wait, AMC is not Wall Street Bets is not private. Happy, I'm on it right now, and I'm not even logged into Reddit. Man, 10.7 million people. I was there when it was like 1 million or less. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, what is the relation? Let's go back to that important question from Andy, right? TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, right? So this is for a lot of people, a lot of traders, the trading instrument that they'll use as a representation for the treasury market. I believe this is the
Pure Storage ticker PSTG, a 500,000 share block trade in the issue. Block trade going off at 1801 per share. Papa Sandy Tango Golf shares down about 0.1% today.
Okay, so think about the bond yield curve, right? And think about the relationship between interest rates and the price of bonds, right? Low rates. I'm not explaining it well, but low interest rates equals higher. I'm not doing a good job of showing the yield curve, but you have to. So the TLT is a representation of the bond market. For traders use the TLT as like their proxy, right, for the bond market. It is the go-to trading instrument, just like the SPY is like the go-to trading instrument for like the stock market. The TLT for stock traders, for equity traders, the TLT is the go-to security, the go-to asset for the bond market. So a lot of times they move inverse to one another, right? The TLT will go one way. It's not a perfect correlation. But a lot of times you'll see the TLT move one way and the overall market move another. It doesn't always work that way, but generally speaking, and TLT moves against the banks, right? TLT goes up because it's a representation. TLT is a representation of the price of 20-year treasury bonds. TLT goes up, banks go down. That's the most.
The National Hurricane Center
Been interrupted.
saying that Hurricane Felicia, which is in the middle of the Pacific right now strengthening to a hurricane, Category 3 hurricane.
I don't care about Category 3 hurricane. That's just me. Do you guys care about
Felicia is
Category 3? Oh, wait, in the Pacific?
Off the west coast of southern Mexico.
In the Pacific? I didn't realize like a hurricane's in the Pacific. Anyway, okay, that's interesting. So anyway, TLT a lot of times moves inverse to the stock market. That's the short answer to that question. Really understand it as like it's really a trading instrument, right? That's how most people use TLT. I'm sure there are some investors in TLT, right? But similar to how people use SPY, right? Like SPY is the largest ETF in terms of assets. It's you can invest in SPY, right? It's just a fund, but it is also used very commonly as a trading instrument for traders, as a representation of the overall market. And in that same way, traders will use TLT.
Note that Hurricane Felicia is moving further west into the Pacific. It's not moving toward the coast of Mexico and Latin America.
Thank you, guys. You guys are smarter at the weather than I am. No. The typhoon thing isn't. Yeah, actually, no. You're right. You're right. You guys are right. Okay, typhoons are in the Pacific. Hurricanes are in the Atlantic. Right. You guys are smart. What can I say? I don't get stressed out when I don't get stressed out when AMC goes up. I just lost a bet betting on AMC going higher. Right? I got nothing against AMC, the stock. I just think the price doesn't lie. I mean, look, AMC's having a good day. It's a 4.5%. This is okay. So this is the trade. This is how we set the trade up, right? You go long AMC. This is like a short-term thing. If you're in AMC Diamond Hands, I'm not talking to you, right? But as a short-term trade, right? You stop yourself out at either A, the low of the day, which is what, 35.89 is your low of today, or B, your low of yesterday, which was the open, right? Opened at the low, I think. 32 or near it, 32.14, right? So you go long AMC, you stop yourself out at 35 or 32 as a short-term trade. You control your downside that way, right? Because let's be honest, if it falls below these levels, in theory, it could go to 20, right? So this is actually a nice setup here on the long side. You're leaning on the low of the day today and yesterday. That's not terrible. I'm thinking about that. You're basically you're risking a couple bucks, right? You're risking like $3. That's not a bad setup in AMC. How about GameStop? It doesn't look nearly as compelling. It's sort of the same idea, right? You stop yourself out at yesterday's low, which is 158. $15 though is a lot for me. AMC I find more compelling at the moment for a short-term trade. That's not bad. Eat a donut, Alex says. I can't. I gave him all to Dennis. I'm really surprised he said he ate all those donuts in one day. There was a lot. Whatever. Moving right along. What are you guys trading out there? I've still got Square on my shopping list. And I know they had news overnight. They announced a bunch of like DeFi stuff, right? I've been wanting to buy Square. I've been wanting to potentially nibble in Roblox. I look at Roblox today. Or not, that's not today. That was the other day. How's my Airbnb doing? Yeah, see, this is a blessing and a curse. I don't look at my holdings every day. So I don't always know what they're doing. Airbnb, I have a bit of a shorter leash on. So I try to keep one eye on that. But I admit that I don't check it every day. My SoFi is looking ugly. Look at SoFi. All right. Stop going down at least. I think I'm in from like 20 or 21. I think. I don't even remember. This is one I'm sticking in the drawer. I'm a long term. I'm diamond handing SoFi. I'll ride that thing to 10 if I have to. You're trading HASI? Not one I'm familiar with. What do they do? Oh, is it a REIT? Nice. If you guys missed it, we had a REIT on the power hour yesterday. We had PEI, Pennsylvania REIT, on the power hour yesterday. This is wait, this isn't a REIT. What am I talking about? They provide debt and equity financing to the energy markets. Okay. What do you like about this one? Chatels. You have it in your Roth too? You see, I like that. Trading around a long-term position. I should do that more often. I don't do that enough, probably. Right? Like for me, it would be trade around Disney. Curious what you like about it. Christopher says you buy SoFi every day. Yeah, I could probably get better at scaling. I don't scale nearly enough as I should. I should learn to scale in and scale out. But part of me is like, look, you're either in or you're out. Sort of how I look at it. SWBI. So, it's American Outdoor. They reported it's American Outdoor. Is that that's the spinoff, right? WK Harris, because the SWBI spun off American Outdoor. It's like the non-gun part of the business. It's everything else, right? Even so, I don't know the story here, but I would feel pretty confident saying that SWBI still has a stake in ALUT, right? If ALUT is down today, it is from earnings. BBI would go with it. But like this kind of move is like silly, right? From 20 to 40 in 2 weeks for this stock. It's a little silly, right? I haven't looked at Ford for a while. Missed the top, but now that we've stopped going up, I feel a little better about myself, right? Because that's sort of like 12 or 13, somewhere around there, and I felt horrible all the way up to 16. But now that we're back down to 13, I feel a lot better. Wow. Sanjeev is getting deep with me. Deep question. What do you like about your job? Is anyone listening to me here? No? I don't know. I'm in the office. I don't know if I can speak too freely. Help me. No, in all seriousness, it's like a lot of jobs out there. There are things you like, there are things that you wish would change. But I've been here for, if you can believe, if I can believe it, I've been here for almost 6 years. Which is a long time, considering I'm only 30 years old. There's a lot to like. There's a lot to like about the culture. It's tricky now, right? Because everybody was remote for a year and a half, and we're just now coming back in. Like, I've been in the office, but a lot of people are just not coming back into the office. There's people that I work with that I've never even met yet, which is weird. But there's a lot to like about the culture.
Ford ticker F seeing some unusual option activity. The September $15 calls showing interest near the bid. Shares of Ford trading down about 1.25% today. 13.82 last trade in ticker Ford. Ticker F. Sorry.
We have freedom to experiment and try new things, which is something that you can't say at every job. That's probably one of the best parts. Is if you want to try something, but then you got to own it and do it, right? You got to execute. But that's one of the biggest selling points of this company is we do a lot of like seemingly random stuff because people just wake up one day and decide, I want to do this, and then they can do it. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I can try a new show if I want to. If it works, great. That freedom and the fact that no one here is really boxed in is super enticing. Honestly, I love being in this industry. I love being in like financial media. I just like watching markets all day. So,
Carnival ticker CCL shares just
funny.
near a session low, down about 1.7%, 21.58. The recent low in shares of Carnival ticker CCL.
Like right now, for example, I like that there's a whole thread about ordering lunch for the office, and nobody can seem to decide. I think that's every office. All right, watching AMEH, right? Over the last few minutes. Whoa, Apollo Medical. Nice move in the last few minutes here. Breaking out. Go to a daily. Wait, it's good. No, let's go back to that 1 minute chart. VWAP was like sort of effective there. Not really, because it took a while. Nah, not really effective. Thank you, Sanjeev. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Look, Fridays are like a more casual day. I think what I'm going to start doing is bringing on more people for this 10 to 11 hour. Or, and I said this earlier, and I'll say it again, we're always looking for new shows. If you're like, hey, I could come on and do a thing for an hour and hang out, let me know. Email us. Tweet at me. Right? Shows at Benzinga. I'm at SJ Israel. But I kind of look at Friday morning as a more of a hangout, right? Than any one day, than any one kind of show. Yeah. So we've got Backstack here in 10 minutes, which is fine. I'll hop off. I don't know what the deal is for Power Hour. I don't even know if they're doing a Power Hour today because Jason and Luke are out. AB, are we doing a Power Hour? What's going on? He's waiting for me to get off so we can talk about it. Which basically means, Spencer, can you host Power Hour today? That's what that means. Which is fine. I don't even know if I'm sure we have guests lined up that I have to do research for before I talk to them. Andy. Yeah, you know what, Andy? You know what I need to do is I need to get I have all like my trading stuff like on my home computer, and I have to get it all on my work computer. And I use Webull, I use Active Trader Pro and Fidelity, but I use obviously desktop, right? And I don't have any of the desktop stuff here. Like any trades I make at work, I make them on the Webull app, and I prefer not to be making trades all the time on my phone. So I have to, maybe I'll make that a project for this weekend, just to get my setups and things, and the ATP. I have to get that downloaded and the Webull desktop version, and get all that set up on my work computer, so I actually can make some real trades and not mess around with you guys. I think I should do that. That's a good idea. Sanjeev is asking, do we have earnings calendar Benzinga Pro? Absolutely, my man. I've got it here. I'll show you how to find it, right? Go to calendar. Boom. Earnings is in the calendar, okay? So I already have one set up. And you just filter by day. So in this case, we'll look at what's the 19th, right? The 19th, the 23rd. And I'll just sort it by importance, or by estimated revenue, or by date. Sort it by whatever you want. We got a huge week next week on earnings, right? Huge week. AT&T, the Dow components, right? AT&T, Verizon, J&J, IBM, Intel, Dow, Abbott Labs, American Express, Coke, Honeywell, Netflix, Schlumberger, Freeport McMoran, United, we talked about already, Whirlpool, big companies, Texas Instruments, Southwest we mentioned. Big week. We got Chipotle, we got Snapchat. I wrote a few down earlier. We got Twitter on Thursday. Big week for earnings. Nvidia's moving. Okay, Rita, I hear you. Love you, Rita. Yeah, okay. Nice bounce. Show me that view up. Is that value? Is that line right? All right, that's weird. Nice bounce for Nvidia. I was wondering why it was down so much with 2 days to go for the split. Yeah, I could do that, WK. I don't know. I don't always trust that log me in stuff. You know what I mean? Like I've used it before. I've used it to log into like work computers from my house, but I don't love the idea of like log me in control because I don't know.
Stocks rebounding from intraday lows. S&P 500 futures rebounding about 9 points off that low, now flirting with the 43.45 level.
All right, WK. Since you brought it up, the chat challenge does go to the end of the week. And let's take a look at some of the stocks that are in there. Right. So let's go to a 15-minute chart. Go back to this is far enough back. What else we had? We had FLGT was the first one. Nope, that's down. Sarepta from James Adams.
Polarity
down.
TE, Papa
Clover.
Tango Echo,
Right.
company out with a press release issuing a clarification.
Okay, turning that off. Sorry, Brent. That was PTE he was talking about. Manny guessed Clover in the red. The blind trader guessed Baker Hughes in the red. Bill guessed Wave in the red. Yeah. Christian, you guessed Sundial in the red. I'm the leader in the red this week. I'm down more than all you, I think. Hertz Scrambler guessed AGRX. Okay. Jeff guessed Zillow. How's Zillow doing? I like Zillow as a business. No Zillow for you, Jeff. HGEN. Orf. Come on. Somebody really guessed Orf. Oh my goodness. Webcoin guessed bingo. You're all down. WK really guessed Didi. All right. That might end up being the winner. I'm going to be the loser for the week. Happy guessed Too Simple. Too Simple finally came back down to earth, Happy. Finally came. See, these moves are always silly, right? It's just a question of when they're going to end. Too Simple finally came back down to earth. I could be a buyer here. I mean, honestly, it's probably going to keep going down. Because I sure as hell didn't want to chase up there. That's interesting. Yeah. All right. It is 10:57. I'm going to hop off here in a second. I haven't really asked for likes yet today. How many likes are we at on the show? 3. Oh, get me to 500, guys. Get me to 500 likes if you could for the end of the stream. I would greatly appreciate that. We are doing a subscriber-only chat day, so if you want to hang out in the chat, just hit the subscribe button to our channel. And that'll let you comment in live chat. This screen that's been up on the screen the whole time has been Benzinga Pro, pro.benzinga.com, free 2-week trial. Check it out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Here's a video that should entice you. If you haven't hit the like button yet, you should do it after watching this video.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
Best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you know, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
Boom, drop us a like. Sign up for a free trial of Benzinga Pro. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me here today. I've been on with you for 3 hours. BZ Pro Chat sent you. Brent, I was going to tell you that you were on the squawk, and then I thought, nah, I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him. I don't want him to like squawk more or less for me. I just want him to do what he was doing, right? Get him in his natural environment. We don't get to hear Brent on the squawk very often. It's always a treat to do so. So It's always a treat to hear Brent because Charles is always on it, but today we got Brent, the Brentster. Brentster is the man. Brentster is the man. Yeah, BSer. That's Brent. Brent is the BSer. That's his initials, right? BS. Give me some likes for Brent. All right, guys. I'm going to hop. SPAC's attack is next. And, yeah. Maybe we'll do a power hour. Maybe we won't. Who even knows at this point? Get technical. Probably our weirdest show, guys. 1 o'clock. That's a weird show. That is a weird show. Moon or Boss 2 o'clock. Stock Trivia 3 o'clock at the close with me and Joel at 3:30. Money Mitch at 4, and Brad Weber talking options at 5 o'clock. Everyone have a good rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you in an hour, but if I don't, just make some money out there. Have a good weekend.